Hello, I'm IBX toycat, and welcome back to another democratic stream on the internet. Wait, I guess capitalist democratic? I guess really this is the worst type of democratic, because the way that this stream works is I'm going to be working on my big build for January, a massive pyramid, which if you haven't seen it yet, you should be pretty proud of. Well, I should be pretty proud of this. It's a giant pyramid on this side of my world that is 100 by, oh, it's 100 layers deep, making it 200 by 200. This makes it one of the biggest projects that I will ever finish, and today we'll be working on it. But you might notice there is a timer, and that timer is not there by coincidence, although there are lots of things that appear in my stream by coincidence. But instead, the simple concept is this. I will, for every single card sold, add 5 minutes to that time. I'm only 90% sure it's above my head. It might be over there or over there. I don't know which way is there. But you know what I will say is that there is a big commitment, a big plan, and today we're gonna have some fun with that one. So join me for it. Hello. Oh, my bed's not up here anyway. All that effort just to find out I'm in the wrong place. Hello, how's it going? Have a Merry Christmas and a happy new stream. No, I am very, 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 I guess, anxious about this one. I think it's hard to admit. You know, it feels like admitting something shameful to be like, yeah, I think that there's a real chance that we end the stream at exactly 2 hours and we go, okay, yep, everyone got a card already, or, you know, everyone who wants a card got a card. Because here's the deal, just under a month ago, we launched the IBX toy card. This is the Founders Edition, Collector's Edition, if you will. You can get it right now at the link down below, creocards.com/IBXtoycat. And we launched this because I wanted to, I like this, like, creating a physical memorabilia. I think you can't do it super often, or you just become Disney or someone and you're effectively trying to money churn or something. But I love having cool little signifiers of the moment in time and a cool little way to, like, collect and show that, right? And by the way, I've got a lot of furnaces running to collect smooth stone. It's still happening, just in case you're curious. And so I have a real nervousness about, like, I figured this would be the right time to do this. And we spoke a lot about, like, the ambitions and the plans. But I think that now, having gotten to where we are, we're at, like, just the right point where I think, because, you know, if you're curious on the inside level, there's a lot of, like, fixed costs that the first, like, X amount of sales go to repaying, basically. And I'm kind of at the point where I'm realizing, like, yeah, I think the channel is, like, slightly too small to accommodate doing certain stuff like this. And I'm like, it's like a slightly embarrassing realization to get this deep in a campaign. So this is my last, this is my big sales pitch, my big plan. And it's one where I feel like I have to go into this being like, yep, it's totally chill if we get to the end. And we sold 273 cards. Now, I'm really excited to know there's 273 at time of recording cards in the wild. In fact, wait, I'll set this up over there. And then if I still have this ready, oh no, I removed it. Damn it. Why would I remove that? I guess I didn't know I was getting the extension last week. But we're at 727 in stock. And, oh, I've lost my browser. Oh, because I put it up there. I am going on a bit of a gamble here today, I guess, is what I'm saying. And that gamble is going to be fun either way. Is the way I've set this up in my head. I've put myself in a situation where if you want to buy a Creo card and support the creation of all the fun things we'd like to do with that in the future, you can go to the link down below. If you say, you know, actually, you know, I already have one, and or I'm at the point now where that just doesn't make sense for me. Maybe you bought a card from someone else. Maybe you bought another collectible. Maybe you bought something else, like food or rent this month, that really makes you not want to do that. Totally get it, but I figured we'd do this anyway. Even if I've accidentally started in the most defeatist language ever. Because I wanted to be entirely... I feel sometimes like the best thing to do... I feel like at many times the best thing to do is, like, to level with people and explain, like, okay, so here's why we are promoting it extra hard. Like, getting past the 350-ish sales mark is where it makes sense to me to like buy out some extra stock and like use it for whatever I want to in the future. You know, hand out for in-person meetups or something like that. I don't know what it would be, but like before that point, it's like, yeah, this is probably a hard to replicate campaign based on that. Also, what says Amsar? Sorry, what I meant to say is, hello, I'm toycat. Is everyone having a good Saturday? I'm having a good Saturday. So yeah, the way the stream works is it'll be 2 hours, nice normal live stream. But for every card bought, we'll add 5 minutes to the timer. And for every 10 card milestone, so the first one would be 720 left in stock, and the rest, we will spin the wheel of toycat. It will be a lot of fun, I think. Also, how about that wonderful sticker I got with the IBX Big Salmon plushie? I thought that was a cool little detail. I'm glad you liked it too, Jeff Kalen. Also, just finished your latest video, says Scoopsky Cat. I hope you liked the Q&A. I'm not a fan of the Online Safety Act, I've got to say. I've got some slightly mixed feelings on that. I don't know, like, chat, can I, you know, I guess today is an emotional sharing time. So, if you haven't heard, Minecraft is bringing in controls on social features if you don't verify your age in the UK. And I'm just not going to give my ID over. I don't think that is a fair price to pay for Minecraft. I don't think, handing my ID to some random third-party company and just trusting that everything will go okay. You know, maybe in the future, that will be the way we experience everything, and we'll all go, yes, this is how glorious internet works now. Just like how I'm sure at some point people were outraged about driving licenses. I think there's a real chance. But I feel like this is like the final end of the internet I grew up with. The internet that I grew up with was basically the wild, wild west in the best of ways as well as the worst of ways. But now, I think during my adulthood, I saw it going like, oh yeah, there's a lot of people doing stuff on here that probably isn't good for them or me. And then it's kind of gotten to this like final stage where I'm like, yeah, I think I'm getting the problem here. Also, from that video, I learned that Xbox Party still works for friends. I can't verify my age, but want to voice chat. Yeah, can you do Xbox Party on a PC, though? That's my real question. I think if the card was the Big Salmon sticker, I'd already have bought one already. Hey! I'm glad that the Big Salmon sticker was a fun little thing. There are minors on the platform that will reduce or stop bad actors, and not... how do you not care about safeguarding? So, Stare Striker, yeah, that's the thing, right? I think this is, like, one of those... like, obviously, like, everyone cares about... I mean, like, most people care on some level about making sure that children aren't exposed to horrific things. I assume. That is just my working assumption. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are people out there like, nah, children have got to have a bad life. You know, you ever heard the cycle of abuse? Like, the idea that a lot of people do actually quite sincerely, deeply believe that children have got to go through some rough stuff because they went through some rough stuff. And the way they've convinced themselves that rough stuff was okay was because, like, well... it made me the person I am today. And if you believe that deeply enough, then logically the conclusion is, well, you know, if I went through bad stuff and it made me the person I am today, then everyone should just go through some bad stuff. And they'll become the person that they will be one day. I've heard that buying the card can increase your lifespan by 6%. You know, you've heard correctly, Ryan-tastic. That sounds incredibly true. That sounds like the truest statistic... What was that? That sounds like the truest statistic I've ever heard. I can do voice party from PC. Oh, you can. Very fascinating. So the Online Safety Act plague is spreading everywhere. See, it's weird though. Okay, so let me actually get this across, because the reason I think it works is I do think there is a real like human plague of people like. I think that we are effectively more and more having like an inequality of how parenting works. Honestly, maybe this is just like the age I am and like seeing the people around me. I think there is a huge, like, you know how I was just talking about like, oh, some people believe that like some children have to go through bad things because they went through bad things, and so obviously why shouldn't children? I think that it's really, really interesting. The one thing that really has convinced me, like, has a huge impact on your life is, like, yeah, how you are raised, how you have a childhood. And there's this huge inequality in that some parents give their children all the care and attention. You know, like they're not just checking up on them once a day. They're like, you know, how are things going? Let's nurture and make sure that the best parts of you get to grow and the worst parts of you get looked at. And then there are parents who are more like, oh yeah, well my child's alive, so I'm doing something all right. I think that is I think that is my like kind of broad point, is that there is the parents on the bottom end of that are like, yeah, my child doesn't annoy me, and so as far as I'm concerned, he doesn't exist, and that is good. I think that's a bit dark, a little bad maybe. And I think that those parents really benefit. I think their kids too really benefit from the Online Safety Act. I think some large number of those children don't know about VPNs. They don't know about, you know, all of the different tools that you can use there too. And so they're just going to be like, well, I guess I'll stop looking at adult content. I guess I'll stop seeing anything that is bad. But, you know, with that said, is that likely to be every single, you know, is it worth the burden on everyone else to make that happen? And are the ways of contravening it worth it? Is the burden placed on society worth the rub? This is, you know, the reason why we could decide tomorrow, if we wanted to, like, yeah, everyone, something I think is like an inevitability if we continue down our current trajectory is like, yeah, when you have a child, because I watch Pluribus chat, and I'm obsessed with how many decisions we make at the individual level that are like really inefficient. Like, isn't it insane that you raise your own kids? Someone who's never raised kids before and whose experience with raising children is, I was a child once. Isn't that an insane, like, suggestion that you should then go out into the world and raise your child? Like, no, that doesn't make any sense. That's silly. Also, how are kids meant to grow up without miscolored waffles? Yeah, growing up in the early 2000s, the internet was wild. Yeah, the miscolored waffles were awful, and they are a real part, like, I don't know, like, it's that messy thing. It's like, they are both bad, and yet a formative part of my childhood. Now, are you better for not seeing it? I don't actually know. Also, yo, I love you, toycat. Thank you. I love you too. Licious. So yeah, today is the last 24 hours you can get your hands on the Creo card, and if the day's stream is 2 hours, then yeah, so be it. It'll be a good 2 hours, I reckon. But for every single card bought, the stream will get 5 minutes longer, chat. So good morning, toycat. I just had my breakfast. Do you have a favorite breakfast food? Oh, that's a good question. Favorite breakfast food? Yeah, also coming home from the hospital, here you go, good luck, is a wild experience as a parent. Yeah, I can only imagine. It's what we have done for most of history, right? So it's not illogical if you use the past as your guiding star, as, you know, maybe we even should. But it is illogical if you use, you know, like, what's it called? Like first principles logic. You know, first principles, like actually, you know, structuring it out ourselves would say, yeah, there are people who are really good with children. Why don't we let them raise all the children? Or at least most of them, right? Because the inefficiencies of raising one child versus 5 versus 10, or even like 30, it's not that high, in my opinion. Speaking of high, KMB says, geez, you're addicted to this hightail mod. Yeah, there's this really fun hightail mod I've been playing that allows for the game to look a little bit worse. It simplifies the tools, get rid of all that fancy combat stuff, and I am obsessed with it. Honestly, it is weird that I'm obsessed with Minecraft. It's weird that I can play Hightail and be like, wow, this has some nice technical features. I really like this, but I also like this. Okay, be right back. I have to open my window. It's so hot in here. Oh. I don't know why it's so hot in here, chat. I have the heating on in my bedroom downstairs. Maybe it's heating up the entire house. Oh. Okay, growing up, the internet taught me not to trust others when they tell me to look at something. Yeah, it could be that our generation is just so effed up that we see being effed up as being normal, you know? I'll concede that is possible. Also, I think I want to go to the staircase I have over here. Oh, okay, I do have a staircase there. And we're going to bridge this round just so I know exactly where to put my blocks over there. There may be unintentional consequences putting all the kids in orphanages. They may not be as well cared for individually. Yeah, it would really amplify the effects of bad parents, right? Like, if you did go to the orphanage with a parent who just looks good on the outside but loves to abuse people. Here's something interesting that that I thought about, which is like, if you're like really, really, really terrible to your like someone you know and love in public, imagine how bad you'll be to your or you know, like a waiter is a good example actually. If you're really, really, really mean to a waiter, you know, someone that you're societally just about on the edge of being allowed to do, you know, like if he's bad to you, you know, there's at least an argument for it, right? If you're really, really, really bad to a waiter, then you know, I think that says that probably when you go home, you're 10 times as bad to your children. I think if you are bad when it's socially unacceptable and people can see, when no one can see and no one can tell, oh man, I bet something's going on there, huh? Also, gotta go. Saturdays have kids' sports activities to do. Good luck, and hopefully the stream gets longer. Thank you for showing up, Chiliest Bean, and indeed, I wish you luck to tie into yesterday with the rest of your 30s. I'm in a car right now, and it is hot. Turn down the heat. If you're in a car, the crazy thing about cars, they don't tell you, is it's a temperature-controlled box. I was speaking to my brother about this, and he was like, I remember driving with our granddad, and he'd always have the no heat on, no AC on, because he wanted more mileage. And I was like, I don't remember that at all. I just remember going places. And it's kind of funny how, like, small details can be, like, huge for some people, and for others it's like, oh yeah, did that happen? That's interesting, I guess. Good evening. When are you talking about slurs? Says Bingo Lingo 6555. Wrong channel, mate. Don't worry. Your time will come though. Also, happy true friends. Charlie the Unicorn. Salad fingers. Good time. Says Bluish Tree 420. Oh yeah, you are of that. You're of the right generation. Bluish Trees. How long have you been around Bluish Trees? I feel like you popped into a stream yesterday. Did you change your username? I've got some questions. Because I'm shocked by the similarities otherwise. Also, oh yeah, I cried a lot when I watched Happy Tree Friends. Had nightmares as a kid too. South Park as well, right? Like, I don't know, like, it's just impossible to imagine a world where it's, like, I guess that's the weird thing, right? Is every one of this internet generation just kind of, like, went through this same thing of, like, oh yeah, whole world of content just available to watch. And now it's weird to then be like, yeah, well, actually, there's some stuff that people shouldn't be watching. Feels like kind of just knocking. Been watching since October, but finally calmed down enough to catch a live one. I'm glad that your life... Oh, sorry, your life calmed down. You didn't finally calm down enough. You're not so crazy. You're not like, you know, I'm just too hectic to watch a toycat stream. Which would be okay, to be clear. Yeah, I'm texting and driving, but will buy a card when I reach my destination in 40 minutes. Good news, chat. The stream will last for at least 2 hours and 5 minutes. Oh, we're covered. We're safe. Thank you, Pain Alex. Wait, how are you texting and driving? Don't you know that's illegal? No, yeah, so much of life... Okay, driving is really what taught me one of the most valuable things about life that I think kind of does contradict the view that comes from the Online Safety Act. South Park, that episode of the giant cyborg woman. Christ, that traumatized me. I think it's Mecha Streisand, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, stay safe on the road. Yeah, driving is so much, at least here. Some people tell me this is a UK thing, but I think it's got to be worldwide. Driving is just a giant negotiation. Driving is we all have the ability to kill each other. So let's talk about this rationally. And I was thinking about it. And talk tax gray area. Yeah, tax gray area. I mean, I feel like there's so many tax gray areas. I feel like society wouldn't work if we didn't have a few of them. to basically allow some people to feel like they're getting a good deal on their taxes by paying, say, 10% less. And for some people to feel like they're doing more by not looking for loopholes that could save them, say, 10%. I feel like it allows for, like, some individualization, I guess you could say. Drink of the day, Mackie Milkshake again. No, okay, this is the crazy thing today, chat. So this is my drink. It's a McDonald's Fanta cup that I filled with iced tea. One of those Korean iced tea pouches, actually. But the I feel like I need to share this with someone because I'm like a, what's the phrase, like a night owl. I kind of think the whole concept of like day owls and night owl, I think it's all BS. But which is a strong way to start a sentence about those things. I think I think that I'm such a night owl. Like all my best ideas come to me at night. And all of my worst feeling comes to me in the morning. Like, I know that this describes a lot of people, but just, I wake up in the morning and I feel like pain and existence is terrible. Maybe it's like blood sugar related because I've eaten everything by the end of the day. Anyway, I don't know what it is, but being alive in the morning sucks. Whereas at night, you know, this is where all of my internet exploration came in, you know, the things that spin, the waffles that were discolored, the you know, the South Park binges. I'm in the passenger seat so I can chat. Yeah, that's legality for you right there. We love a legal chat. We really do. Unhappy dad should be the drink of the day. That's me, but I've got depression and damaged joints. So I don't have depression or damaged joints. I mean, like, I would just have this thing. In the same way that I think if you're actually curious about the world, you should have a think every now and then, like, am I gay? Like, a lot of gay people hide it from themselves because they want to seem normal. Is that me? You know, you gotta like really, really check in on yourself. Like, would I be allowed? You know, because it's really hard to tell other people about things that are personal like that. But it's also hard to tell yourself. Like, you know, if I think to, you know, like level about it. I think like in a lot of places it's fine, but my life would get more complicated if I was gay. On the other hand, though, I had a silly thought about this. About like, you know, if you're a young parent. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I'll share this another time. But I think that like it's worth having a check-in with yourself. Like, is this normal? Am I fine, or do I just think I'm fine? And one of the check-ins that you should have, in my humble opinion, is: am I depressed? Am I just like getting through some stuff? Have I done something that like feels meaningful recently? Because it can be really easy to go a long time without the answer to that question being yes. It's really easy to go that far. I'm not even driving, so there's no possibility anyone becomes distracted. You know what? You should start driving right now, clearly. But yeah, I think it's really worth like checking in yourself, like having a hard talk every now and then. I'm pleased to tell you, I'm pretty sure in what I am. And I'm pretty sure that is not depressed. I check if I'm gay every other night. It's a pretty pleasurable. I thought the every other night was going to be a joke about, you know, bicycle ality, but clearly went a different angle entirely, and full respect to that. But I think that it's really, really easy to just kind of like forget about that stuff for yourself. And so I'd like to clarify, I don't think I'm depressed. But man, do mornings make me feel like a depressive person. But I've noticed, waking up at any time, like if I wake up at 9 a.m., I feel tired. If I wake up at 10 a.m., I feel less tired. But not by like a dramatic amount, and then you also lose an hour of your day. If I wake up at 7, I feel like mad tired. But after you get going, if you can just get your body moving and just get it going in the right direction, if you can achieve that, then all of a sudden, everything just starts working. And so I woke up at like 8:20 today. Not actually ridiculously early. I think a lot of people would wake up earlier for school or work. But I woke up at 8:20 today to go for a run. It was I've mentioned this a few times. It's one of the fun things I do. And so I don't think I should be doing these blocks. I think I've made a mistake here. No, let's just do this whole section of the pyramid first, and then the pyramid will look complete if anyone comes over here. And that's kind of as important as being complete is, if you ask me. Yeah, let's do it. Let's run up here, bridge over there, then bridge back over and over again. Honestly, Toycat is free therapy. We should all buy cards to support mental health for you when you think about it. Yeah! So I'm talking about Bluish Street. Thank you for having owned one. By the way, still at 727 in stock. Yeah, it's but we got one sale, so it'll be a 2-hour, 5-minute stream. And then I'll enjoy back to my very crazy grind for videos. I'm about to go on the round the world trip I've spoken about a few times. But it does, one of the weird quirks of that is I have to prepare with videos, you know, to be able to afford to, you know, a lot of self-employed people don't talk about this, but you don't get to take sick days if you're self-employed. A sick day is a I didn't make money day. So either you have enough savings to cover it, or you work anyway, you know. I think that's something that's important. But it also means, like, holiday days just mean you have to have done that work another day. For a lot of jobs, that seems unbelievable, especially for YouTube. I spoke to an old YouTube colleague of mine, chat. The guy's name was the Vlog Squad. I remember him from way back in the day. We had a good chat. Not a good chat. Honestly, he was trying to sell me something. It was kind of funny. He was just using his YouTube contacts. But I decided to take the positive of it and say, oh yeah, we had a good little chat, me and this guy. Yeah, the thing that, like, really hit me is, like, oh yeah, his like, doing that forever is really hard. And he said to me, like, yeah, I don't know how, like, you upload, like, basically daily on your main channel, and then you have other channels that you also upload to. So how does that work? I don't even understand how you can make that much content. It was one of the weird, like, what felt like a backhanded compliment I used to get a lot from other YouTubers back in the day. Is like, how do you do that? Also, IBX Therapy Cat says Teddy Bear. Oh, fun name, by the way, Teddy Bear. It's weird to me how a lot of people are apparently not at all bisexual. Yeah, I do not find the concept. I mean, it only makes sense. I think that I don't think I have anything great to add here. But since I'm trying to avoid self-censoring too much, I do think that only makes sense if you assume that there are two modes of being and they are equally likely, and therefore being in between. You know, like, if you think about it as being a spectrum from straight to gay, right? And then it's like, yeah, everyone, just like how everyone falls somewhere on the autism spectrum, everyone's a little bit autistic if it is a spectrum disease. Or at least a large number of people are. There are some, you know, entirely, what do they call them? The NTs. Then you can make the argument that it's the same that way. But I think some things are way less likely to occur than others. And I'm like a big, like, evolutionary like thinker of, like, yeah, it makes sense that if it was 50-50, our species would have died a long time ago. It's a miracle that we can have, you know, like, because clearly, regardless of what you do socially, some number of people will always be, you know, gay or in some way gay inclined. So it's a miracle we can have a species where that, it would be quite easy to just not have that be programmed in, right? If you were like, again, if you were building from an objective standpoint, if you were starting from nowhere, you could be like, yeah, we don't need that feature necessarily. Also, in normal employment, you only get sick days if the country has enough money saved up. Is that true? Is that, am I, like, again, I know the way I, anyway, my whole thought here, you've derailed it, and maybe go on a, what sounds like a borderline religious rant, but really is just like, yeah, actually, like, you know, to get to where we did, every gay person has an infinite chain of mothers and fathers who at least participated in what's the word? Straightness? Heterosexuality on some level, right? I think that just kind of goes without saying. I don't understand what makes a man seen as attractive. Yeah, I don't get it either. I I really specifically don't talk about it because it's but I think that I think I got mocked in school for having that as an opinion. I was like, I literally just don't. You're saying this guy is attractive and this guy is not. I don't get it. I don't see it. I thought for a while I was attracted to minds, but that doesn't match my experience either. Anyway, so necessarily perfectly 1-to-1. Anyway, so the I woke up really early today, chat, and so the cool thing about waking up super early is usually I've got to wake up, get straight to McDonald's if I want the breakfast. Today I woke up, I went for a run, saw an area a little bit. Went to a bakery just to see what was going on. Walked around a little area of London I hadn't been to. And then I got to McDonald's, and there was still 5 minutes left to breakfast. And in the UK, at least, McDonald's breakfast has become cheap. At least, like, in my mind, McDonald's breakfast was like an exorbitant treat. Maybe I've just... Maybe it stayed the same price and I've gotten bigger. But, yeah, it was really, really good. A huge pyramid is this toycat's dissertation project. It might as well be, let me tell you. Mimes. Yeah, exactly. You know it. You know it. Okay, so this block is 91. Let's bridge that over. Oh, no. That's, I'll leave those there, though. Yeah, in normal employment... sorry, I've read that one. We're good. So, I remember when gay also meant happy. Yeah, I kind of get the boomer thing of where, like, oh, the world has changed so much. And a part of, like, a resistance to, like, that change because it implied... Also, look, I nailed it, chat. I nailed it. I'm impressed with myself. I really am. I just got it. Is the card a pyramid scheme? Yeah, you know it. The card is a giant pyramid scheme. If everyone just gets 5 people in their downline, and then each of those people gets 5 people in their downline, then we'll be going forever. But yeah, chat, I think it's the modern Aztec way of building in Minecraft. Hey, there's an old reference for you right there. So, evolution always has weird quirks. We've all got appendices. Yeah. I think it's because evolution is not... It's not designing for perfection. It's designing for survival and reproduction. You know, in a way, there's an argument that being, like, a little bit gay might help you reproduce. You know, if you can... if you know, like, think about it this way, right? If you are a lady-seducing lady... Then I'm imagining this off the top of my head. Then if your goal, right, if the one goal was to reproduce, which evolutionarily speaking, it is again, but it does. They had lots of other goals presumably, but the goal in terms of the evolution would be that. Then it's like, oh yeah, if you could like seduce a good father or man or whatever you want to call it, like a good sperm donor's wife, if you could convince her that actually she likes ladies, so she sleeps with you, then you could sleep with her husband maybe, and then you could have the child. I don't know, something like that, right? There's a word for that. So there's a world for that, I imagine. But yeah, it's I think if you ever look into, like, it's one of the most fascinating things in the world to me is how many bizarre quirks we have that don't make any sense, but that actually really makes sense when you think about it. Like, I used to... One of the strongest arguments for, what's it called? Like, natural creation. Natural, like, I don't know. One of the strongest arguments for there being, like, some creator who just made us all is that, like, have you seen how complicated eyes are? Eyes are a very hard thing to imagine just coming out of nowhere. But if you actually look into, like, you can see all of the steps along the way for eyes. Because at first, you have a creature that has no way of knowing if there's light or not. And so a creature that has the ability to detect light or not can detect, is it dark or is it day? And that by itself is huge. And it can detect, am I in a cave? Am I outside? Am I in the sun? You know, like, you get this huge advantage just for detecting, is there light or not? And then the next creature and then like the next time it evolves, it's like, well, if you can open it a little bit and you just get like the level of light, if you can tell if it's slightly dark or slightly light, then that's an advantage over not, etc, etc. My mum and sister think Matthew McConaughey is super hot. I've tried to understand, but just can't. Because the English stole our land. Haha. Okay, what land did we steal? I'll concede. I don't know where in the world you are, but it's probably right. Okay, let's go. That was such a perfect fall, right, chat? I want to see how much damage I took. I think the answer is none. I think I came out of that pretty good. So complicated and a tiny flap of skin protecting them. Yeah. You make a really good point, actually, there, Xavier. We've got this, like, incredible piece of biology, and we're like, yeah, so there's a little skin flap that we can bring down. Also, isn't it insane that it needs to be watered via blinking a bunch? We evolved eyes to have them licked. Hey, an old reference, but a good one, Dasher. That is the reason we have eyes. It's so that when you seduce the man's wife away from her, him, and then you can convince, the way you can convince her is by licking her eyeballs. It's just how it works. I'm not in charge of the decisions. I just let people know what they are. So, yeah, that back wall there is going to be a real pain to do. So let's just go to that back wall next. Oh, we can't on either side. Okay, so we're going to have to move this across to the edge as well. Yeah, that'll mess things up, though. So let's just keep running this way. We'll run it that way, and we'll see where it goes. Evolved hands to play Minecraft. That is exactly the reason we have hands. Don't let anyone tell you that it's not. They are a liar. They're a filthy liar and should not be trusted. See, I guess we could go this way all the way. And then, no. I'm not going to take a risk on going all that way without being absolutely sure. Because this looks right. Yeah, this looks perfectly right to me. But if we're off by a block, which we could be, then we'd make such a disastrous pyramid thing. Evolution to crab pipeline. It's the watchmaker theory. Eyeballs have a different immune system from the rest of the body. I've heard that. I don't know if it's true. But that sounds right. Eyes are kind of crazy, huh? Man, yeah, eyes are one of the most complicated things about us. But they're also what allow us to do so much of what makes us human. Like, I would go as far as to say, if you really think about it, your sight is the single, like, the single way that you interact with the world that feels like you. Like, I'm playing Minecraft. A lot of that is down to how my head is perceiving what's happening in the game. But the only way that anything is happening in Minecraft, like video games, every single video game I know of is primarily visual. There are some sound-based games, the rhythm genre, but the rhythm genre is tiny and then also relies on visuals too. You have to, like, Guitar Hero is an audio game technically, but it's kind of all about the visuals. Like, we're a very visual species, incredibly visual, and I think I would love to know, like, why it is we have this. But if you look into how eyes even come about, it's even crazier to me. It's even crazier. There are millions of humans who do not have eyesight, and they are fine and develop other ways to perceive the world. Ooh, Jeff Shannon, I like your thinking. Just to be clear, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not saying blind people aren't people. Someone might, I would not. Geometry Dash comes to mind. Oh yeah, Geometry Dash is very... You tap on the beat rather than tapping when you visually see something. At least if you want to play the game well. I think, though... I think that's, like, the other human characteristic of, like, we do really well... Like, humans love... I think the ideal temperature inside is between, like, 17.5 and 23.5 degrees Celsius. Like, if you're really trying to save on heating, you go to 17. But there's this shocking finding that if you go, like, a degree below that, your risk of getting the flu goes up massively, at least when you're older. Every heat wave kills people. Literally, people die in every heat wave. Like, it is wild, but it is one of the things. You tap on the beat ideally, but sometimes the level timings are shit. I was really obsessed with the game that Geometry Dash is based on, the Impossible game. And I'm still bummed out. Also, it's actually the opposite. Geometry Dash levels are not primarily designed to the beat. Thus, it is not technically a rhythm game. Oh! You know, thank you, KMB. Now I know. Never mind. Scrap what Dasher said. Sorry, Dasher, but I'm gonna roll with KMB on this one. Maybe wrongly, maybe rightfully. I'm gonna roll with it anyway, though. So yeah, let's bridge over there and then bridge our way back. I think that humans have an incredible ability to adapt to our environment, such that we know that humans like being between 17 and 23 degrees, and there are humans living in places where it gets to 55 degrees, and humid in some cases. And there are humans living in places where it gets to minus 55 degrees. Sometimes even colder. The cold snap a few years ago, I think in Vermont it was like -7. Like, the numbers where I literally can't comprehend what -70 would feel like. I just don't get it. I cannot imagine how that feels, let alone how it is, right? But it is the way that it is. Also, Bluish Tree was replying to why it isn't called Wales Land, because the English took it. Terrible joke. Are you Welsh, Bluish Tree? That's the real question. I'm Welsh. I mean, not in the real sense, but hey! Boop, 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 boop. Thank you for becoming a channel member. You might have noticed recently, Arch. Also, I'm going to quickly check on the card chat. I've got no good news to share. I choose to believe, for my optimistic self, that it will all happen in the last... there'll be a huge movement in the last hour of the stream. But I would like to remind everyone that can backfire, and that there is indeed... There's 5 hours left where you can order an IBX toy card. The moment the 18th hits, the card will not be on sale anymore. And that is something to consider. That might be fine to you. You might not have any intent to buy it. You might just be enjoying, you know, the free rider effect. You might enjoy the fact that some people might buy you cards and you'll get more toycat stream for it. But just keep that in mind. Do you think we'll get any new drop features next week? Oh, KMB, I'm torn. I think we have to get new drop features next week. But I also think that 26.0 probably needs to, like, get rounded out and finished, right? So I'm going to go with probably... yeah, that's my bet is probably. That's my formal take here. Also, I think I should grab a stone box and just bring it down with me. I think it might save me some of this pain going back. I bought my card the first day. Yeah, that... Hear me out here, right? Okay, I really like unintended consequences. One of the unintended consequences of doing doing last week's stream and then this week's stream is that effectively, as well as rewarding people who buy during the stream, getting a big community spirit effect, we also have, in a way, punished people who did not. I think punished is relative, of course, and it's not actually a punishment. But, you know, like, some number of people have lost out because they cannot. Because they already bought. Is that how it should be? I think that's why I don't do member funds, usually. Like, very, very, very rarely. Because it's like, oh, I am so desperate for new members. Like, I don't want it to be such a regular thing that, like, oh yeah, you want to become a new member during the streams rather than any other time. That's why maybe I overthink these things. But I think fairness is a really hard thing to really nail. Like, everyone has their own definition of fairness that contradicts everyone else's definition of fairness. And it's hard. This week's preview was small. I think 26.0 is going to be finished next week. But Java can still get a feature-filled snapshot. Man, whatever happened to the days? Again, maybe... I've got, like, these teary eyes, starry eyes, of the day, like, 1.13, when Bedrock would just get its cool, you know, snapshot preview features. And they wouldn't have to be like, oh, but what if Java doesn't get it? I got my card pretty much right away as well. I would love it if you could gift cards to other people somehow. Yeah, you know, I'll blame Creo for that one right there. Just bought a card, 70.06 CAD. Really? It's £27. I guess maybe if you were saying, hey, wait, you really did though. Okay, chat. The good news is, no matter what else we say today, actually, let's just, let's bring this up a couple seconds and then up that. There we go. We got 5 more minutes. Thank you, everyone. Say thank you to Sarah's skin review. By the way, great to see you. I hope the skin reviews do go well. You know, I hope you review my skin on the card. You know, Sarah's skin review, you are the best placed person to do this. Is the skin on the IBX toy card a furry skin? That's what I need to know. As skin expert, I'm sure you have opinions. Qualified opinions at that. I need to know your official take. I need to know what it is. And I need to know it now. Yeah, that conversion rate sucked. Oh, if you think it's bad, I was looking up Australian dollars, and it's slightly worse than Canadian right now. And then I looked into New Zealand dollars, and I have a couple of New Zealand friends. Man, I feel for New Zealanders right. Oh, Mike is terrible again. How does this happen? Chat, I have the world's most haunted PC. It is demented. I'll let you know when I get the card. Yeah, thank you. Please continue the stream, this terrible mic quality. Thank you, KMB. That's all I ask for in my life, is a little positivity. And that is the sort of positivity I'm after. But yeah, let's get ourselves to sleep. You can see how the pyramid really is coming in nicely now. Do. Oh, I just got poisoned. Do. Thank you, McBella. It is great to see you again. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. My best friend's from New Zealand. He suffers a lot. Yeah, like separately, but also the exchange rate, right? Yeah. Thank God I hit him in third time in time. I feel like creepers have been more generous of getting that third hit in recently. Maybe I've just become expecting of less. Maybe I've kept my expectations so tiny that now I can't even conceive being whiny. I'm not sure. All I can say is I guess I'm glad for the way that it's going. Yeah, I think I have to do this like super annoying thing here of like building round till we get to the edge on every block this way. I know this is an inefficient way to build, but it's the way my brain wants to do it, so it's good. Yes, sorry for the brief time away. You don't need to apologize. The cool thing about the parasocial relationship is you can drop in and out. Obviously, in my heart, I'd prefer you didn't. But I think it's one of those things you accept, right? Just like how you got to accept the eyes are insane and they have their own immune system and they make no sense, but somehow they actually do. You've got to accept that the same is just true for everything else here. Okay, so we'll bridge all the way this way, and then we'll place a torch, and we'll bridge off from that torch. Ah! I need more stone. Okay, let's get back down here, and I think I've ran out of it, so I'll just put my stone box down on this corner right here. And I'll take it out all the way. Chat, I had to get so much stone for this project. I found stone all over my world, and I'm still not quite sure that we're good. Did you imply he suffers because he's my bestie? How rude. Oh, I mean, I should have, Dasher. That was a way better joke than what I was going for. Man, I should hire you to write my jokes making fun of you. Fun fact, the combat updates will turn 10 years old next month. Yeah, I did a video when the snapshot turned 10 years old. It's really adding insult to injury that the update itself. Not even just the test of it now. The finished update will be 10 years old. Man, that is brutal, huh? I genuinely find that stuff to be like wild sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I think there is some Minecraft stuff where it's like, ah, man, everyone gives them like way too hard of a time. And then there's stuff like this where I'm like, oh, are people giving Mojang too easy of a time? It sure seems that way, doesn't it? Also, salutations, says Bill TL Official. Ah, I've got to remember when I'm running out of blocks and stop reading chat when I'm running very low. Salutations to you too. Oh, so yeah, this is the scale of the pyramid. I think it can't be overstated. But it is real good. Are you just building the pyramid shell, or is there something you want to turn the pyramid into? I meant to turn the pyramid into something. No, I am building the pyramid shell, knowing that like it could probably just exist the way it is and it would be fine. But I do like the idea of it being something later. But right now it's a fun way to use a bunch of stone while also covering up for something else. While also just adding a feature to look at from a distance. I think that sometimes having a function in mind is important. And for like long-term happiness, you're probably better off having that. But yeah, this is a thing. Just got my card ordered, says Adam Sony. Hey, we are now at 725 in stock. Which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more minutes to the timer. Yeah, you know it. I was curious. Nothing wrong with a shell. Yeah, I agree. But also I would say that designing a shell is fine, but I would actually encourage people, like, if you can think of something that should go in there, it's best to come up with a function at the same time as the design. I think you'll probably be happier. You could cover it in brick blocks. Gotta work. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Good to see you, Riggins Rally Go. I'm sorry to hear that your work has come in. Very rude of the world to tell you to work, really, if I could go as far as to say. But I hope you're having a wonderful day anyway. So now we'll place a torch. Oh, we can just place a block there. I already placed the prerequisites. Easy peasy. And then we're just going to have to do this all the way around the corner, just so we can start finishing the middle of our pyramid. Oh, big work. I need to get caught up with your videos, toycat. It's been a rough few months. I'm sorry to hear that. What has made your last few months rough, if I can ask? If I can't ask, that's fine. You're not... Yeah. Are you meant to ask? I'll ask. Fill it with water, make it a manual drown farm or something. I do like the idea of filling this with water. I do have to say. I kind of like the idea of, after this, making a giant pyramid out of cobblestone. You know, doing the, what's it called? The 2B2T method, effectively. I think that could be some fun. Okay, so now we're going to bridge all the way back this way, just to make sure that this is done. And then once we're done with that, we'll do the next layer of stone back. That function is being pretty to look at. Yeah, that's like I said, for me, that's fine. But you need to know that in your head. I think if I say, I'll build the pyramid first, then I'll work out what it's for later, then I might realize, like, well, it's a bit too far away. And conversely, if it's just to be pretty to look at, you can't have it take up too much prime real estate. So I'm out here 1,300 blocks from spawn. You know, it's gonna be perfectly nice how it is. But perfectly nice is what it will be. Just change in jobs and our current rough economy. Oh, I'm doing something wrong here again. But getting back on track. Yeah, that I am sorry to hear. That's an example of, like, something I think is really hard is, like, the general economic condition is something entirely out of your control. You know, I think there are some things in life that you can control. There's some things in life you can control, but it's really hard. And there's some things in life where it's like, yeah, you're at the mercy of the powers that be. And sometimes the powers that be, they certainly don't be nice. I'm kind of like, one of my, like, big things I'm, like, still trying to work out for myself is how much ownership do I take of situations that, like, because I think that the thing that made me most mad growing up was I had a teacher that, like, did not accept any reason for being late. He would berate you for it. And I'd be like, but, like, literally, you know, how, if this road was shut down, what are we meant to do? Or, like, literally, this or that. Like, he'd always ask, why are you late? And he'd just be shit about it, if I'm being honest. And I used to hate this teacher. If you want to know his name, it was his name was Mr. Guest, which is kind of funny because like you know how like names come from what someone used to do. Was he a professional guest at one point? Anyway, but he was the worst teacher. I remember I've got lots of things I dislike about him, but this teacher did have one big thing which like I always thought was stupid at the time. Like, yeah, this is clearly not my fault. I've just explained how it's not my fault, and he'd be like, should have left 10 minutes earlier. And it's like, so I should leave 10 minutes early every day just to prevent this happening right now. Do you hear yourself right now? But then at a certain point, there is, even though I don't like it, I think there is a point where that actually kind of ties in and makes sense. That like, I think it is healthy, almost. Maybe. I don't know. Like something I'm struggling. So like, let me give you a mess up I had recently. I couldn't. I've been trying to run every week. But I have not done so successfully for a good little while. Hey, another card got sold. Okay, chat. We are now just 4 cards away from the Wheel of Toycat. It's here. He's featuring. It's going to be great. IBX Stoic Cat. Yeah, I feel like stoicism is so overused that I don't even know if I'm using it correctly with myself anymore. To be entirely honest with you. But I do think that I think something I'm like trying to get better at is being like, a bad thing has happened, but what can I do about it? Chat, over Christmas, I had a it was a really expensive flight too, but I had a flight that got delayed by an insane amount of time. It was going to be a 4-hour flight. It took off at 10 a.m. and was going to land at about 3 p.m., but it was a time zone change in there too. So 4-hour flight. It was going to be a 4-hour flight, and at first there was a weather-related day, so it was going to be 4.5 hours, and then there was a delay with the crew from the previous flight, so it was going to be another hour. And then because the crew from the previous flight had spent so long being delayed, they couldn't fly this flight without going over their hours, so it's called timing out. So the crew timed out entirely, and the entire thing like was a test of patience. It was winter at the time, and Mr. Guest must be disappointed waiting for your streams to start. Isn't that crazy that how can I, like, I hate this because I hate watching my family be late to stuff, and yet I do have a late gene inside of me that we just had to change what the definition of lateness is, right? But yeah, the world never praises you for being on time. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I just really crave praise. Like, I started the stream today. You can probably see how many seconds early. But I started the stream a minute and that many seconds early. So I think it's like a minute and 8 seconds early. No one said, whoa, toycat, great job, you're here on time. No one said that. Not a single person. And maybe you could argue it's about reducing displeasure than anything else. Anyway, so you should build a big Creo card inside the pyramid. That is a fun idea, actually. That is a very fun idea. We have set up, like, it's very tricky to get gift cards. We set one up specifically, and it's a tricky one to replicate, I would say. Anyway, ooh, beacon in the pyramid. Yeah, beacon in the pyramid would be cool, huh? You're not on time. You made people late instead. Yeah, it was really rude of me to make people late to this gathering, huh? I'm sorry for that, Xavier. I apologize, and I'll try not to do it again. But no, I had a really delayed flight. So it went from landing at 3 to then landing at 4, 5, 6, 7. Then at 7, it got cancelled. They're like, we'll put you on the next flight. It was going to be Christmas Eve or something. We'll put you on the next flight over there. And then we got it moved down to 9 p.m. But like with another connection in another city on the other side of the country. Fine, chill. And so, like, it's really stressful having an airline that you paid a good money for mess up a ticket that bad. It's painful, right? I don't know why you don't start the streams with starting soon screen and then show up when you want. Because it does. I feel like that's like a. I don't like that at all. I hate that as a viewer. It shifts the burden of, you know, when the stream starts and knowing when that is, from the viewer to the. I don't like that at all. There's so many practices that I'll concede I'm silly for despising, but that's one of them. Like, no, don't say you're live if what live means is I'm going to be on a starting screen for an indefinite amount of time. It took me a while to accept that I can take bathroom breaks, chat, if I need them. I've been on a no bathroom break policy for a while. Are you? Yeah, I think that how TF did I miss an hour? See, Johnny Woodstock assumed we'd be an hour late, and now because we're not an hour late, we've screwed him over. That's why the toycat late time exists. I set the rough time in my schedule, and then inevitably something always goes wrong with streaming. Sometimes it's something as simple as like, yeah, I'm just there, like, I don't know if I can do this, man. I don't know if I can do this. But then from there, yeah, this is looking really lined up, chat. I don't know how it's lined up. Did I just start placing the blocks and trusting that I was right? Wait, we're at the wrong part of the pyramid right now. That's why I'm so lost and confused. Okay, that's embarrassing, but hopefully no one saw it. Toycat was on time. Hell yeah, Toycat. Ooh. Yeah, exactly. Toycat was on time. Hell yeah, Toycat wooed. Indeed. Tom Bear, thank you for the $2 tip. I appreciate it greatly. So yeah, time is just a construct, so was he really late? Yeah, we need more people like Tujova here to jump aboard my lawyer train. Waiting for IBX Toycat serves the same purpose, but people aren't sure if you'll start or not. When the stream is already rolling, people know you'll show up. I guess I'm just like transmitting my experience as a viewer onto everyone else. But waiting for IBX Toycat means you can go to whatever you want. It's like ready to go. It'll go when it is. Streaming a screen is going to take up your data unnecessarily. It's going to limit my ability to actually prepare correctly, because if I need to like play around with scenes and stuff. I think it is a worse world for everyone that has become a norm, you know? That's my humble opinion. I'm not saying I'm correct. I like hearing the pros and cons, but I'm not a big fan of it at all. This is such an awesome build, by the way. Love it. Thank you. Yeah, watching it come together really is where it's like starting to like, okay, I get it now. I see why I'm doing this. It's all starting to make some sense. And that's very nice to me. So yeah, we're going to use these blocks out. We've got a ton of them. Although we're not getting any more because we're far enough away that our furnaces aren't running. And then we'll get more. The stream starts when you say, hello, enough said. Yeah, I like for a stream to start and for it to start. And I kind of get the argument. The reverse argument is some people want to watch all of a stream. But I think watching all of a stream is already a big task. When that stream is, you know, like, last week's stream was 7 hours. I want to entertain you as best as, you know, like, live stream entertainment can be. I want to do that for 7 hours, chat. I don't want it to be an 8-hour stream where I take a nap halfway through. If I wanted it to be an 8-hour stream where I took a nap halfway through, I would stream for 7 hours and then take a nap at the end or something, you know? I'm glad you're doing big projects again. It does look amazing. Yeah, this is definitely to a silly extent as well. But I think it's a fun extent. And the bonus is you don't have to skip through 30 minutes of starting screens when watching the VOD. Yeah, that's my like vision. That's my goal with doing the entire thing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go one block down and we'll place the stone, and then we'll come back for the smooth stone. I just checked my notification history and I did not get notified even though I hit the bell. Yeah, I think the only true solution to this, like, as a creator, I am entirely reliant on YouTube serving my videos to the right people in the right places, right? Also, if you're curious, if you just joined in, this is a stream. So the correct way to do it with like an email list or I need some independence so that people can sign up to be notified. And YouTube not to say, ooh, well, if we notify you, you might not watch our other videos. Whereas it's like, no. I need to have some independence on this so that I can say, yes, you want to see this, so I'm going to show this to you. I think that's how consent should work, but maybe I'm crazy. I have a villager experience code I can give away if we hit a target. Hey! Oh, that's fun. Okay. Chat, here's a fun one. If we do get to 720 today, left in stock that is, so 280 sales, then we will give away a Minecraft villager experience code. This will get you the rare and elusive, effectively Minecraft's first pay-to-win cape. It takes a while to load up. Man, I'm amazed by how inefficient the Bedrock menu is. Again, I can't stress enough how ridiculous it is that a menu is this terrible. But it is. Okay. Look at this. The villager experience cape. The only way to get one of these is to pay a pretty healthy amount for an experience. But I'm guessing Chantal has hard scoped some codes from the tube somewhere, and so is able to take full advantage. I wonder how many people started a Forever World because of toycat. I hope a lot of people. Yeah, some people use a Discord server for their YouTube stream communities with an opt-in ping. Yeah, that's a good way to do it too, I guess. But even that is still reliant on Discord. What if Discord starts saying, well, you don't click on all of these pings, and so do you still want them? Like, you need a system where only the user gets to decide when they're opting out, is my ideal. Obviously, I'm a creator. I have a specific interest. How many cards do you still have left to sell? 724. Which, you know, if we're really real about that, that means we overshot the demand a little bit on it, right? That means we massively wrong-sized our estimation on that one. I think probably I think that's the hardest thing about selling a physical product. Like, the cool thing about, like, the marketplace map is, you know, we just print out another license key every time someone buys one. The physical costs are low. The costs were all in making it once, and now the extra costs are super low. So I see why, chat, if, you know, to level with you, I think, like, selling stuff as a channel, whatever it may be, you know, like, I think that's becoming more and more important as, you know, like, you know, modern creator economy solidifies. If you want to actually survive and be able to pay staff, especially. So I think as that's happening, more and more channels need to work out, like, how do you sell stuff, right? How do you monetize an audience beyond getting a tenth of a penny every time someone watches something? Because you need a lot of a tenth of a pennies before it becomes something real. The issue with the cards is the limit on when to buy. If they're available until sold out indefinitely, that would be better, no? It's because they all are, they're going to get, so again, in order to get it at that price point and in order to get it signed, it specifically is going to be a thing. My suspicion is the card didn't sell as well as it could have because of the whole furry design thing. Yeah, this was like specifically, I sat with an artist and we did a lot of like back and forth. This was what we landed on. And it is something that like, I guess is worth thinking about. Seriously considering. But yeah, it's definitely, I don't know. Do the cards already exist or will they be manufactured? They will be manufactured. We've set a limit of 1,000 on the manufacture process. The manufacturing process could theoretically go into the tens of thousands, though. But the limit is because I only want to sign 1,000. And I'm only selling cards that are being signed. Which, you know, there is another argument that, like, why don't you have a signed and an unsigned tier? Definitely would have been a good idea in that, but, yeah. I would like to quickly point out that could you build the broken house from the Xbox edition of Minecraft? Yes, I have it already! Sandra Glace. It's just over there. You can't see it, but it is just over there. You'll have to trust me. I'd limit the signed cards, but still sell unsigned cards. I guess in this case, again, I think I'm being too frank here, right? I think I'm I think there are situations where you are meant to hype yourself up in such a way that you border on dishonesty. I think what we're learning from this, right, is at least with the current design, with the current value proposition, you could argue it's due to the design. You could argue it's due to the time of the year. January is a bad time to be doing a merch drive. But regardless of what the reason is, like, if you look at the current... If we sold more than 1,000 unsigned, it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. If anything, some number of people only bought because they knew it's a limited number. And for those people, I like that we provided a better service. I like that if you were excited to have one of 1,000 cards, you now have one of 174... sorry, one of 270-ish cards. I think that's so cool, personally. I love having collector's items. And so that's why I'm excited as a consumer. I'm just distraught as a producer. Oh, no, 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 no. That's okay. We'll leave the hole there. You gotta remind ourselves why we sleep. Speaking of why we sleep, let's go. I think a collectible card is a niche item. Making one what's already a niche community really cuts down on larger common denominator group. Yeah, So again, I spoke with an old YouTuber about this today. Or an old YouTuber colleague. No! Oh, he got so big there. Yeah, it's really the hard bit about it. The hardest bit, maybe I could even go as far as to say, about creator scaling anything is like, yeah, you have to make something... You have to make something good, but then it also has to be something good that people that watch you would want to buy. Like if I love I don't know, stupid drinking implements. But how many of how many of my viewers actually love stupid drinking implements too? Maybe not enough to justify an entire order for. Still, there are over 200 people willing to spend over 30 euros for your merch. Thank you, Bingo Lingo. Yeah, it definitely... it's definitely a good thing, but again, like, there's like a... You know, do you know Makeship? When we used to do Makeship orders, there was a strict, like, if you don't sell 250, we just cancel everyone's order. Because they were literally, as a company, like, yeah, we are not losing money on that. Sorry. You know, Korea graciously is like, we'll lose money and then we'll just give you the ice. And so we're not at that point. But it definitely is a thing that scales. So if I did make a bunch of... Like, if I made 7 mugs, because 7 people... Well, not mugs. If you don't know, we have these fun heart-shaped mugs. We had to get them, like, specially found. It was a whole nightmare. But we made these heart-shaped mugs. And they say we will all die someday on them. So admittedly, we've gone for a niche of a niche of a niche, right? It's a weird drinking implement that has a very dark message. So it's mostly for toycat fans that like the idea of something a bit weird that also need a mug. It's actually a pair of mugs. It's got heart handles. Again, I think it's super cute. But like it's a niche of a niche of a niche too, is what I'm trying to say. I love my mugs. I'm glad. But it's definitely what makes this so hard. I feel lied to. This isn't a solid brick pyramid from World Height. I'm sorry, Pout, but good to see you. We had some lesbian discussions earlier, so you've missed that one, I'm afraid. One came broke, but I love it nonetheless. Maybe that's the reason they sold so terribly. Maybe our quality control. But yeah, it's... So I think as a creator... that is the current genuine, like, I'm very relaxed about it relative to where I probably should be. But I think it definitely is like, yeah, the rely on AdSense model only works if you are like massively expanding, or if you don't have any staff, or if you have really low expenses, and so do your staff, I guess. But I think like moving forwards, it's like, okay, we're gonna work that out, and I think we did a really good job here. I'm happy that 270 people wanted the card, but now it's like, okay, how do we make something that more people want? Maybe some of that's price, right? So maybe there's some of that is, maybe some of it's quality, the art thing. Maybe it's like timeline, like it takes 6 months to get a custom product made like this. Whereas, you know, like a t-shirt, you can get a t-shirt printed and shipped in like 3 days. My friend said only one of the mugs is usable. The half mug is... One sec, chat. My friend says only one of the half mugs is usable. Oh, I totally agree with that. One of them is... It's definitely like a his and hers, like, she doesn't get to drink very much and he gets to have most of it. I haven't used mine, they're pretty pen pots. The price felt prohibitive. Yeah, I felt like, yeah, that's exactly what a card should cost. And I think that is a whole interesting world in it too. Yeah, it's kind of funny. We're doing a post-mortem while the card is still running. This is objectively terrible business. But clearly, it led to 2 more people deciding to buy one. Thank you very much. In 2 more sales, we will spin the wheel of toycat, and even crazier will do this. Are the mugs still for sale? I will choose not to direct any attention to it, but I believe they are. 6 months. I was going to move in April. Guess I can't move till June. I've got bad news. It's July 2026 that you should have it. It will, like, realistically, it will come in June, but we say July to make sure that we're, like, under-promising and over-delivering. But that means it'll be there in July 2026. I can't under-promise and over-deliver by saying that I'm going to do it earlier than what we're saying. Create more false scarcity. Say there's only 10 left. Yeah, weirdly, I think that would have been the right move. Just, like, cut the number in half. Once we extended it, obviously we weren't going to sell 700 in a week. I think that... I don't like that false scarcity is a selling thing. But I do think it is. I do think a lot of people... I think in a world where attention is a hot commodity, I think there's a lot of people for whom, like, yeah, I buy things slightly more intently when there is a real time pressure on it. So hope mine comes in 2026, probably towards the end of the year. You know, it is always a pain to get things to Russia, but I bet it's doable. Also, may have toycat lobster rolls for sale, like Trump sticks. Yeah, that's an example. By the way, if you want me to, like, be real on that, the only realistic way that you ever do that well is you just find someone who makes something and you slap your branding on it. And that exists. A lot of creators did coffee back in the day. But if it's not shelf stable, it really complicates the process. There's a what's it called? There's pizzas from, I think there's a famous Chicago pizza place you can order freeze-dried pizzas from. And so it costs just as much as getting them in the restaurant. Like, it's $20 a pizza. You pay $100 and you get 4 pizzas, I think. That's plus shipping too. So you're paying a ridiculous fee to get these pizzas. But for a lot of people, it's worth it for the wild experience. But also, you have to, even to get to that price, where a pizza getting delivered fresh to your door, for that to work still then requires a huge amount of investment. There's a funny thing, actually. I think about this with like other countries a lot. There's a doom loop in places with reducing sales. So to give the YouTube channel example of this, right? When something is, I think like we've experienced the reverse of enshittification for so much of our life with social media. Like, every year, social media gets bigger, and it gets better. They add new features. Like, you know, YouTube has gotten so much better. White labeling. Yeah, white labeling. Realms are down again. Oh, don't tell me it's true. Oh, no. Do realms just go down every Saturday? Oh, I am appalled at this. See, this is... Okay, there we go. Enshittification Realms Edition. So, when Realms first came out, they were like, yeah, so here's the scoop. We're going to give you a server to play on with your friends. And because now you have the server, it makes sense for you to have some fun stuff to do on that server. And so every month they would add more things you could do on your realm. Realms got better every single month. Whatever you do, don't leave your realm. Yeah, I can't. Realms would get better every single month because they would be willing to invest more money into it. If we're being real, you can argue that they made enough money and they just want to make more, but like they were trying to invest more money to make a better experience that more people would be willing to spend money on, and they to some extent succeeded on that. But this is now, and here is the crazy bit. I think we're just gonna bring, if we've already picked up the thing anyway, let's start doing the stone layers down here. Let's just have a nice old stone layer in the middle over here. Just like right there. And we can do it from down here. Nice and easy. Okay, so, oh, it's kind of tricky to like continuously keep this running though. So I'll crouch. There we go. So, realms got better at every single month. They would add new maps you could do in it. They're adding new features. They brought out the fact that you get a bunch of maps included with it. They brought out realm stories. I love realm stories. There's like all these different features of realms. The fact that it works on all of your devices at once. There's so many benefits of realms. But then, there's obviously like what people call enshittification is basically companies trying to generate revenue. But the worst version of enshittification is like, let's say it's not even about increasing revenues. It's about keeping a platform stable. So an example of this could be, say Minecraft makes $800 million from realms, but they have $800 million in costs. If they increase the price of realms such that enough people unsubscribe, then all of a sudden they'll actually start losing money, right? And that can be a really tricky situation, like a doom loop of like, every time they increase the price, sales go down, but every time they decrease the price, they lose money. I think there's some businesses that just get trapped in this. Where I think every time they increase the price, they get fewer customers, so they need to increase the price some more. I think that this is a inevitability of the streaming game. Like, no one actually has a long-term subscription to, like, Apple TV or Hulu. Or I can't even name all the weird ones. Realm's reliability needs to be studied. Also, uploading worlds is broken. I couldn't upload my survival world. I asked Corner Hard and he pretty much said, I know. Yeah, I feel bad for Corner Hard. I feel is like, yeah. I bet he has a bunch of constraints outside his control. And he's like, look, if we just spent 20% more on our server budget, Realms would work so much better. And they're like, how about we make it work better without spending 20%? And he's like, well, we could cut down the sim distance. And they're like, yes, genius, perfect. Like, Realms still, look at this, chat. This is the view distance on my realm. Not very big, right? I want to leave my realm and show you not on a realm, but I can't. On my regular world with this PC, I can view literally 18 times as much or something. So realms have so many, like a ridiculous number of limitations on them. And the only argument, like, if in the environment we're in right now, where it's like all about make that money, it's like, yeah, it's very, very hard to justify spending more on a product in a way that doesn't lead to more revenue. Like, the reason that Netflix can still spend $100 million making a new series is because some number of people, like Pluribus I've been talking about a lot, that's going to lead to some number of people getting Apple TV subscriptions. And as long as some number of those people keep it, in the long run they make money. But if people stop subscribing to new TV services, which most people aren't going to, subscriptions to anything aren't worth it anymore. Ditch Realms. Yeah, I have actually cancelled most of my subscriptions. I think it's like, oh, I have the worst story. I have a real painful story, chat. I feel like I deserve a refund, even. It turned out I was paying for Realms twice. Like, I have 2 Realms, but I was paying for this realm, the one that I can't show you the stories of. I was paying for it twice because some Minecraft bug somewhere decided to get them billing me twice. And it goes back, like, years. And I think I've never felt as much pain as when I realized I think Microsoft just decided to scam me for £3 a month. And they're on, like, they took the payment from 2 different cards. So I didn't even know. I would look on one card and be like, oh, I'm paying here. I'd look on the other a year later and be like, oh, I thought this was on the other card. But clearly not. You just don't assume that Minecraft bugs can lead to you spending more money than you expect. But they can. Also, hey, toycat, how many cards have you sold? And are you happy with the number? Thank you for asking. So at time of recording, we have sold 278 cards. I think I'm very happy with the number on a... I love the... It makes me feel like warm and fuzzy about how many people are both supporting the channel, but also, it's like, even if you buy the card and then never watch a video again, never interact with the channel in any way, it's like a physical thing that exists, you know, that will survive until the wasteland. I love that that's true, Zachary King. I did have a mental number. Like, 350 was the number in my head where it made sense to buy a bunch of inventory. Again, like, chat, the entire thing was manufactured around 500 sales is where we have a good January. I feel very, very calm and relaxed on my holiday, not worrying about how videos are doing as much this month because, man, CPMs in January. Rough. So that was my, like, number in my head for, like, that is when life becomes calm and life becomes good. Suspicious how this long-standing bug isn't a priority to fix. Yeah, it's a bug that would lose them revenue, right? Like, obviously they'll fix it if there is pressure to fix it. But if they can just refund some of the people and some of them not. Like, how do you make more money from a subscription business? Charge people twice, easily. I think that, you're too nice, toycat. Clearly, it's not a bug, but a scam. I mean, like, genuinely, I have this real belief in a $1 trillion company. It's just not worth their time scamming £3 a month. Like, I know on a large enough scale, we're talking about £3 million a month. If 1 million people have this bug affecting them, which they don't, but if they get 1 million people with this, but like getting 3 million via illegitimate means just is not worth it to a $1 trillion company. Like, and you can't. Even if they wanted to say to their teams, look, if you happen to make money from stealing from customers, then we'll turn a blind eye. If that ever came out, they would lose far more than 3 million, right? I think genuinely incompetence, or at least ignorant incompetence, are the worst you can ever put it down to. Maybe I'm forgiving them, maybe not. But yeah, so sorry, with the cards. So at 500 was where life was gonna be good. If 1,000, it was like, oh yeah, you know, I would feel, you know, it'd be the best month we've had on YouTube in a good, I don't know, half decade or something like that. But like my expectation was always, you know, I kept my expectations at like, okay, 500 is the goal. And then, like, midway through the campaign, like, last week, it kind of works out that, like, oh, yeah, so the number of cards I need to buy to get to the benefits of 500, even if it then costs me a bunch of money for the cards, is 350. And so this whole week has been like, okay, if we can just break through that barrier. But even then, 350 itself, it's like, you know, it's like borderline break even. I would be effectively paid for this in a bunch of cards that I would have to work out what I'm doing with. I'd have to pay to store them somewhere, or keep them in my office and then like start doing conventions to sell them. I'm not even sure what I would do. Right? I haven't done a convention in many years, and I'm sure if I did, I wouldn't be too excited to sell cards at them if I was. On the other hand, if that amount of money is so little to them, then they should refund it with ease if you have the receipts. Yeah, I think it's really hard to prove that I didn't have 2 realm. Actually, it shouldn't be, should it? They can just look at my account and be like, yeah, the realm ID on both of these subscriptions is the same. So, yeah, I do expect that I will get my money back. Like, I think it will be a pain. It should be automatic, right? It should be, whoa, can't believe we have this. Let's go through and sort that. Sell them on eBay, right? That is actually a silly idea. So the funny thing about how that works, right, is if I bought 150 cards, again, I don't think it will happen that way. To be a little pessimistic and to like I was saying earlier, like I think at some point in life you have to say what is inside my control. And I think that we did a really big stream last week that took us from like, oh dear God, what did I do? To like, okay, we've sold enough cards that I'm happy with the product. I'm happy with how it's gone. But like within my control, it's like, yeah, I have asked for a lot from people. I've mentioned it in a dozen videos and multiple live streams. At some point, you know, people know about it and it's their decision to buy or not. And I feel it feels tricky to mention something past that point. I think that's like one of my like the ways in which I'm not great at being a YouTuber. I think as a YouTuber you have to endlessly be good at like you effectively have to promote yourself in the sense that every day I upload a video that I think is worth your time. That's insane. Who says something like how often do you say something worth someone's time if you're being really fair and objective with it? Like how often do you have like a really good thought you think the world needs to know about? Presumably not multiple times a day. But here's your boy Toycat, like, yeah, I've got something so cool that I'd like to talk about today. Kind of absurd, some people might say. Also, our lava buckets ran out, so we're really scraping the barrel now. I think I need to go back home anyway. I'll pick up some lava buckets. I'll pick up some stone. I'll live a good life. Okay, so we'll load that in there. We'll load this in here. We really, really need to go heavy on the stone. So let's pick up some lava. Let's bring this shulker box home. And let's fill it with some stone. And then also pick up fireworks. Sell them on eBay is a really fun idea to me, by the way. I do think there's like definitely... I think you did a good job in advertising card video streams. You usually shy away from it, but you did your best this time. Yeah, it's a really rough thing. It's like I've spoken with a lot of creators about this too, actually. Because it is one of those like I think asking for someone's time is asking for a lot. Like gathering you all here today, chat. I have asked for a lot from you, right? And so in no world can I then say, but you know it would really be a lot, you know it would really be good is if you also like time. I know I feel this way a lot in life, that like time and money, it's fair to ask for one, but you better have a good reason to ask for both. So let's refill our buckets here. This is a technically unrelated project. I just have a real desire to to place one more lava bucket over here. And so that's exactly what we're gonna do. It's I think this might be one of my big projects for the year. To work on the ceiling for this. Like, if I separate it into smaller projects, it'll be less overwhelming. It's like if I just say, like, my next big project is taking this lava and covering this sea over here. Make a big lava river there. It'd be kind of cool. Every single thing I say is extremely important, says Pout. You know what, Pout? Say something really important. Give me your most important thought. The single most important thought right now. At least the most important thought you've had in 2026. Let's boil that down a little bit. I want to know what it is. I bet you got a good one. My most popular video of 500,000 views says is one that I don't like watching, so I don't judge what others find interesting. I do think I think this is a surprisingly I think you're saying something that is surprisingly common. I think there's a lot of subcultures. I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't know, the person who makes, I just watched A Man on the Inside. It's the classic example of a Netflix show that had a moderately successful series 1, and so made a pretty bad season 2 just to like cash in on that fact. If you watch series 1, do not watch season 2. I wouldn't be surprised if the guy behind it, the creator, is kind of in his head like, yeah, this is terrible. I don't like this. I don't know why people do. But he did still make something worth watching there, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if the shows he likes to watch, let's say he watches Pluribus, he really likes Vince Gilligan. I wouldn't be surprised if Vince Gilligan's like, man, this show is so serious. We had a 5-minute scene where an Israeli woman just gets on a plane. And there's no talking in there whatsoever. Was that really a good idea? I wouldn't be surprised if he thinks that to his head. Your videos were one of the few that I'd like to watch that wouldn't be a waste of time. Hey! That's what I'm talking about. How many more cards till the next spin? Just 2 more cards till the next spin, Johnny Woodstock. Great question. And thank you for asking it. So we've still got some more stone left in here. We might as well just take it out. Let's commit. Commit to the bit. We've got to take it out, and then we'll put it in, and then we'll be a fit. This is a song, and I'm doing it all along because I've got to make a tong. One time you were drinking Bucks Fizz on stream and placing lava at the same spot, and you said, you will lose interest in me way faster than I'll lose interest in you. Parasocial relationships. I remember that one went deep with you, Dasher. I think it is. It's like, it's true. As I really sit here and reflect on, like, a decade in, right? Like, it is... oh, by the way, I say a decade in. I mean, like, a decade in full-time... but even that's like an underestimation. I think it's just over a decade. I think it's like 20. I think 2014 might have been my first tax year, or my first like. I think my business started in 2012. My first like tax year where I paid taxes was 2014. Toycat branded poisons potatoes. Now that I think about it, it was really weird that I was in college and paying taxes. I was paying for my own college. Anyway, but I, you know, that's weird, right? Imagine how people must have felt in the past when they bought a whole album only to realize their favorite artist was washed and they just wasted their monthly entertainment budget. Yeah, you used to have to buy that stuff, right? It's the barrier to supporting someone is so low now. But then getting that into something else is quite hard. That's quite tricky. It's quite the challenge, I am sure. Okay, so I've gotten all of my stone now, chat. Besides this and besides that. So I'll drop a shulker box in. I'll take one out. And then I'll probably grab some more lava. I'm sure I can do that easily. I've always got my lava just sitting here, basically unfilled. And I've always got an extra bucket or 2 ready to take it. Also, yeah, I'm slowly but surely collecting up green dyes for my hill to die on. It really did sick of me, and then you slurp bugs fix off the desk. That was my way of making you keep interest in me. Okay, so Pout6038 says, if the first drop of 2026 is Spring to Life Part 2, that means that we're going to see another copper drop in autumn and a new weapon in the winter. Yeah, I think the most exciting bit would be a Vibrant Visuals Part 2 for Chase the Skies, right? But I think Chase the Skies Part 2 would be the least interesting update otherwise. I think, like... I can't get over how cool of an idea the Happy Ghast is, and how little of a difference it will ever affect me anywhere in my life. It is one of those ideas that... What's the word? Like, it's all style and no substance. It is all vibes and no... You know, nothing good underneath those vibes. And that's like a real shame to me. If you've only been here for a decade, that means I've been here longer than you. I guess I mean, like, if I'm looking back on like a year, on a decade, sorry, of more than full-time making it. If we look back on the last 12 years, to have a creator career last 12 years is insane. This is unheard of. Like, in 2006 when YouTube started, by 2012 when I started, all the OGs were gone. There's a couple of notable names that remained. And then you go forwards another 5 years, and all of the ones that remained, besides, like, 3, are gone. They're doing something else. I don't know, it's like, it's weird how it works, but that seems to be how it works. I don't believe there'll be a part 2 for the other drops of the year. The spring theme is obvious, but the other drop themes weren't connected to their season. Ooh. That's a prediction. I like that. I mean, it's not as valuable as what Pout has to say. You know, chat, everyone give me right now. Give me your one most valuable thought that you've had for 2026. Something where I'd be like, ooh, yeah, I need to hear that. Distill it all down. Something you think that I need to hear. The card is adorable, says Rukia. I mean, that's what you think. But we have some, you know, not naming names here, who believe that it's furry propaganda. Also, look at the pyramid coming into view. It's just so beautiful to watch it, like, slowly come in. It's so ridiculously sized, too. I really can't stress how... I knew it would be this big, but still just seeing that I've placed all these blocks is insane. I remember the Toycat versus Echo Soldier hardcore stream. Those streams were my end game. Oh, that is old school. You have been around forever. So you've seen most of those years, Codec. See, I think that, you know, if I could use you as a case study for a second here, Codec, I think there is a real like it kind of goes in and out of cycles to be cool to like creators, right? Sometimes it is obviously very cool to like creators, like they're the people who make the things you enjoy. And then sometimes it becomes like sarcastically cool, like, oh yeah, I watch those videos. You know the ones that are for babies who like Minecraft. Imagine, I'm just kidding. And then there's like the, oh yeah, I watch the creators, but I'm not really invested. Getting to the point where you have some number of people who are like, yeah, I'm excited to see what they do, enough that they will give it a shot when you make a new video. Actually kind of tricky when you think about it. Life isn't worth living without people who love you and get you. Beautiful, Dasher. So, because I'm over 18, am I going to lose access to multiplayer? Are you British? Or do you have a British IP address? If the answer is yes, then yes. If the answer is no, then you've got a good while to go. Love the people you have while you still have them. Remember to tell them you love them, and anything can happen at any time. Life is volatile. Yeah, so I just recorded this week's Let's Play. And it's all about preparedness. It all makes sense when you see it, chat. I think it's a really good Let's Play. I'm like, it's one I'm excited for people to see. Obviously, what I care about and what the average viewer cares about. Not necessarily any link in there whatsoever, but it's a Let's Play I'm excited about. And also, McBella, congrats on the new profile picture. Estrogen is Pout's most exciting thought of 2026. You know, I feel like isn't the other hormone the bigger deal anyway? Isn't that the, you know, estrogen's the one that like already exists in all people, but it's the other one that's special. It's weird knowing at some point I was a kid watching YouTubers, and nowadays I'm someone competing with them for views and attention. Ooh, that one hits me too, kind of, right? Like, if you think about it this way, if there was the like, in an expanding market, which is probably like what YouTube was for the longest time. That's how it's like a really good thing if we're competing with people who are also watched us as people in either a shrinking market or a stable market. Every view that you get is a view that like Echo, you say that was your end game, so you like Echo Soldier. That's a view that Echo can't get, or a view that I can't get, or even if you're competing with like Green or like insert other Minecraft YouTuber here. Whoever in your mind your videos have any competition with, maybe it's a Greg, maybe it's a PewDiePie, whoever it is, there is a finite amount of watch time. Every view minute you get, it goes that way, right? Please read Cat's message. Cat sent me a message. You are worth way more than you think you are, and it's not annoying for other people when you promote yourself. Thank you. That was a nice message, Cat, and it was nice of you to tell me to read it, Polly. I feel like 90% of the time when someone tells me to read something, it's like, oh, yeah, here is a disastrous issue. That was nice. I mean, maybe it's a disastrous issue. That I don't value myself enough. Yeah, I think there is a... I thought about this myself. Like, there's a lot of people who were growing up watching... my generation of YouTuber of the world, and that is like a real part of like genuinely a consideration. Like either I don't know, like it's I think that in the let me really word this thought correctly. This is like a deep one, but if there is... Also, I kind of forget that YouTube is our generation's TV. I still think of it as a niche thing. Stay Berry, so do I. It blows my mind that it's like, yeah, everyone watches YouTube now. My granddad watches YouTube. It's train YouTube, but he's still heard of, like, the big train YouTuber creators that I would have heard of. It's mind-blowing, the scale of modern media. PSA 10 toycat cards. Oh, did it happen? Oh. No, you're just saying PSA. Oh, is PSA the grading system? Preparedness, let me guess. You're gathering stone the entire time? No. But now you'll be positively impressed. Or not depressed, but you'll be positively surprised by what you do see. I hope, at least. Okay, so even though we need to stay at the top for the blocks to come through, I've got a whole box of stone on me. So we'll just go down and we'll do the lower layers. It's really simple to do a lower layer because we just run around next to a higher layer, continuously placing over and over again. Easy peasy. Let's get some of these in because it should make a cool effect when we're done too. I grew up watching TV with 3 channels. Man, I cannot imagine not having Channel 4. Channel 4 was like, ITV was such garbage. ITV was such garbage. Like, there was nothing I ever wanted on ITV. Whereas Channel 4, you know, it's like lower quality but niche BBC. If anything, what Channel 4 did to the BBC is kind of what YouTube did to mainstream TV in general. Like, there's a bunch of people, they might not know it, but there's a bunch of people who would love to watch someone talk about Minecraft, and specifically Minecraft updates. In the year like 2017 or 18, I think it was like 2018. There was like 9 million people a month at one point tuning in. I think early pandemic it was like similar numbers to that too. It was absurd, but that many people were interested. I've spoken to so many creators who are like, yeah, I didn't even watch Minecraft console, but I'd watch your Minecraft console update videos. And I'm like, how does that make any sense? Yeah, you want to get some shulkers for the stone you're gathering, so you technically weren't mining the entire time. We will see how correct your prediction turns out to be. YouTube seems to be the new default TV service. Sod paying for a TV license when YTube exists. Yeah, TV has been replaced by VT. It doesn't quite work. TY has been... wait, in your text, the V and the Y look very similar, but it doesn't work if I say it out loud. But TV's been flipped into VT. But, like, the V is actually a Y. Anyway, I'm watching on my TV right now. Best way to consume a good toycat stream. Thank you! It's very niche content, what we do here on YouTube. Like, playing the block game, working on a big project, while going into those thoughts that I'm sure we all have about, like, yeah, I think that you can only focus on what you can control, and so you only should focus on what you can control. While also thinking, like, chat, you know, can we all be real with ourselves for a minute here? Don't you think it's crazy that there are only so many first names? Like, it's kind of weird, but you would expect a first name as like a password or like a user ID. You know, at least if you grew up in the internet generation like me, you'd expect it to be like that, but it's not at all. There's only like 50 first names. The only way to really get a unique one is take a lesser known first name. I knew a Curtis once who spelt his name like entirely wrong, if I'm being honest. But it's like, oh yeah, he has a unique name. But still, if I say Curtis, you're not picturing his name spelt all messed up. You're picturing, you know, like Jamie Curtis or whatever. You know, the fact that John is the most popular name in the world by such a ridiculous margin. Because even if people aren't called John, they're called like in French it's Jean, Jean. Toycat branded moldy plastic cheese. My content is so niche, I've made less than 60 videos in the last 4 years. I think as a creator, though, I honestly I've looked at your channel codec, but I've forgotten what it was on it, if that's not rude to say. So I would love to give you a specific call out here. I feel like a lot of YouTube did become channels that upload once every few months. And it was a really cool vibe for a bit. It worked really well for a while. But as quality standards for that kept increasing, I feel like we got to a world where like, oh yeah, YouTubers don't upload regularly anymore. YouTubers upload once whenever they feel like it, which is not very often. The mini melt's called Owen. I think she's nailing it. Yeah, that's your child is the exact point. Also, my real first name is Nigel, and I'm not British. Wait, you're not British, Nigel? This whole time I was assuming... What nationality are you, Johnny Woodstock? Sorry, this whole time I've been picturing the most British man in the world. I don't know what to believe anymore. I was wondering if you ever thought about the implications of people watching your streams together. My fiancé and I watch most of your streams, but we only count as one view to YouTube. Oh, first of all, Joshua Gillespie's fiancé. The word is just not coming from my lips today. It is not. I am not attempting to devalue your shared commitment to one day marry, if that is what a fiancé is. Yeah, I said it right. There we go. It's a French word, and I don't really believe in French. My favorite strange trivia is the joke. I've heard multiple comedians make this joke. It'll be like a Japanese guy who's like, so I've been living in London for 5 years now, and so I'm like people, they hear that my name is Yaki, and they don't really like get me. So I'm thinking of changing my name to something more British, like Mohammed, and it's like it's a very easy joke that has been made many a time. Okay, so to finish my point about your fiancé, because Joshua Gillespie's fiancé, thank you for watching these videos with him. I assume you like them at least some amount by this point. But, you know, at some point, one of you had to make the jump to watching it with the other. And because you're on his account, I assume it was you making the jump to watching it with him. I do think it's interesting that it counts as one view. But I would also say that that kind of can work out in your favor, if I had to make a guess here. Because two people watching a video are probably going to watch it slightly longer together than either would individually. Like, if every time Joshua wanted you to see this, he sent you the link, it might be worse for my overall watch time. So I make less money this way, but get better promotional benefits, maybe? I'm not sure if that's true. I'm making an entire guess here. Also, I'd love to have a fiancé one day. So here's the trick, Dasher. You can propose to anyone, and as long as you don't hear them say no, you can be their fiancé. It is the truth. My boyfriend hates the French too. That must be why he hasn't proposed. I listen on 2 devices because I want the chat on my phone, so it evens out. What is the timer for? The timer is for the end of the stream, if it's working. Let me check that it is. It is working! The timer is for when the stream ends, Balo. But the crazy news that you might not know is that for every card bought, that timer will go up by 5 minutes. It's gone up 3 times already. So I don't know when the stream's ending. Wait, it's gone up 5 times already. Wow, thank you for 5 card sales, chat. But yeah, the way the commission payouts always work on these things is it's like, if you sell, say, you know, I'll just make up numbers. But if you sell, say, 100, that's worth about $1 a sale. If you sell, like, 300, it's worth, like, $5 a sale. Just imagine numbers. And if you sell 500, it's worth, like, $10 a sale. And it stops scaling quickly after there. But that is the reason why I'm doing one last big push here today. Anyone who wants a card, the ability to get a super limited edition, they will be printed, they will exist, and then it will be done. If you would like to get an incredibly limited edition card, now is the time. And if just 2 more people do it, we'll do a spin on the Wheel of toycat. It'll be a lot of fun. French people are based, but only in Quebec, not those posers from France. Also, I already bought my card, and unfortunately cannot sacrifice my rent monies by more cards this month. Your landlord can, though, so send him a link to this stream. I'd love to see what he has to say to it. This is why you copyright your first name. Also, I've tried to make my content less of a mix of the relaxing, less edited, heavy content and those typical mini documentary styled. The huge gap in between is just me being horrible at editing. Yeah, I think one of the things that seems to be coming back is the kind of like daily YouTube video or like, you know, semi-daily YouTube video. I think that regularity is being appreciated as a content again. Maybe by YouTube's algorithm, maybe by viewers. It's really hard to tell the difference. Because YouTube likes you to believe that, yeah, the YouTube algorithm just sends you videos that you would probably go and look for yourself. But it definitely does more than that, right? There's a reason why the same video will show up for all of us at the same time sometimes. I listen on 2 devices. I want the chat on my phone, so it evens out. Okay, Joshua Gillespie, don't worry. We've got the second device sorted out. Fun fact, I 100% forgot I bought a card till this stream. I will not remember it till summer till it arrives. That's the best way to buy things on the internet. And I'm not saying that because I intend to take everyone's money and run away with the cards. Wish that was my plan. Imagine how much money I'd have right now. I'd have 30 euros times almost 300. I'd have 9,000 euros. Chat. I could enshitify this card design by just not producing cards. This is the Microsoft Realm strategy, actually. They figured that, you know, for every realm, there's additional costs for them. So they just started charging me for a realm that doesn't exist. And they have infinite profit on that until I charge back. Do you know, it used to be a classic scam. One of the dumb things about the internet is it's ruined the ability to make money this way, chat. You used to be able to, like, set up an ad in a newspaper for some really ridiculous product, like, you know, a magical, you know, a self-functioning vibration machine, or you know, like a pill that makes your women love you. You could make VR goggles. You could make ridiculous tech, and then all you had to do was take people's like payment over the phone and make your company name something super embarrassing, like I Love Men Incorporated or something, and everyone would be too embarrassed to like cancel the charge, and you just make a bunch of money. Back in the day. I'm saying this as if I would personally do it, or I have done it. You don't know that I haven't, chat. Also, we are down to 721 in stock. Just one more sale of the IBX toy card will get us to the point where we spin the wheel. No Toycat merch announcement. Yeah, as seen on TV. Oh yeah, the as seen on TV thing. Ridiculous. Codex says, the one thing I hate from all Minecraft YouTube creators is nostalgia baiting slop videos. I've seen way too many 20-minute long videos of someone saying nostalgia keywords with zero substance. Oh yeah, I do definitely notice the it's a bit of a weird one too, because the ideal is that the nostalgia slop video makes someone want to consume your, I don't know, regular slop. What do you want to call that? It does seem like a bit of a missed opportunity. Also, I sold Girl Scout cookies to all my teachers, then switched schools, got their chocolate and their money. Was so young, I figured that's how it had to be. My old school was forever away. 10 minutes. You know, I talk a lot about the idea that back in the day, you could just raise a secret second family in the town 10 minutes over, and none of the people who live in your town will know the people living in that town. I feel like you had the version of that as a 10-year-old, Chantal. Chantal has my favorite story about bake sales, though, if you'd like to tell it. But yeah, I think that, like, nostalgia YouTube content needs to be, take the format that's nostalgic and do something special with it. Don't just the same video again. Everyone's seen, the same video still exists, if anything. The same video, but special. It's something I've been, like, if I'm being honest, I think I am a little bit trying to do with the Let's Play. I think it's so cool to have, like, in a world where, you know, again, I think the documentary style stuff needs to exist, but in a world where everything feels like it needs to be that to optimize an engagement, it's cool to just be like, look, I'm a guy, here's my take. I put all of my thoughts into the thoughts of this video. I put all of my effort into how I'm going to share those thoughts. And so that's what Monday's video is. And that's what the following Monday's video hopefully will be after that. And the following Monday. And the following Monday. All the way to the end. I have the perfect nostalgia baiting video for everyone. Downgrading to old versions of Minecraft Bedrock. This feels illegal. I want to know, KMB, how good do you feel about that video? For chat, if you don't know, KMB pitched me the idea for that video. And I wasn't that sure about it. I was like, I'll give it a try. I felt like it was like... It felt to me like a 1 in 5 shot or something like that. And that video, I could be wrong, but I feel like it's got to be closing in on 1 million views. Also, you mentioned you're going to make an IBX Toycat albums. Is it possible to include 99 Possible Mojangs by IBX Nina Cat? I cannot confirm any of these allegations, but what I can tell you, what I can do right now, is simply say this. We did put together. Wait, actually, let's It's been a while since I've seen it, actually. Okay, so okay, chat. Oh, wrong one. Grand. Okay. So here's what it is. Tunnel.
Electro tunnel, gotta go down the electro tunnel. Electro tunnel, gotta go down the electro tunnel. Electro tunnel,
First of all, beautiful song made up exclusively from a few words. But yeah, we may have included you and I in a little brick house together. We're glad that it's not owned by a mouse. Blaze it till the crack of dawn. Worried of what this title will spawn. I did also yeah, I the truth is that it's kind of hard to share a message that's more than one word. The way we see the world is grand, but yet I'll have to share my hand. Would have been better, yet I'll have to make a stand. Terrible. This was really, I landed from a flight where my brain just wasn't focusing, and then it just had laser clarity when I landed. Make a Minecraft song about 99 red balloons. That's all my brain could do. This slaps. We need physical copies of the album. Is that what my actual next piece of merch should be? Honestly, I bet shipping albums isn't that hard. I told your favorite story. Chad didn't appreciate it as much as you did. No! I missed it during this. So chat, I need to if chat, you will appreciate this story, I assure you. So Chantal made a bunch of cupcakes to sell at her parents' yard sale. Did the pay what you want system. An old man offered me $1.10 for all of them and asked if he could take my plastic tray as well. I said no to the tray, had to say yes to the cupcakes, which I think is objectively crazy, by the way. I think first of all, pay what you want is a crazy thing for an 11-year-old. But second of all, also you could publish it on Bandcamp or Spotify at least. Oh, is Bandcamp good for that? You know, that'd be kind of fun. Guess we've got a golden idea in store. Yeah, that was, also, I'm a former K-pop stan. Stream it like crazy and get it to the top of the charts. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the K-pop world is a crazy one for that. It does have to be said. Objectively speaking. A lot of wild stuff going on there. Okay, yeah, I think I've made this a bit too chaotic by building too many layers. So I'm going to now use this in between some of these. So I think here is the next logical layer to be stone bricking up or stone blocking up. Bandcamp would be perfect, to be honest. I'll put it on Spotify if we can. I don't know the process of becoming a Spotify artist. You know, we've got 26 minutes. Let's quickly find out how to upload to Spotify. Oh, that's the very first query for how to upload. You need a music distributor to get it on the platform. So you... Interesting. The free way is to use a free distributor. Get a paid premium distributor. Interesting. So we have to find a distributor for our music. So Spotify's gone the opposite of YouTube. Where YouTube, anyone can upload anything. Spotify is saying, yeah, you might be making your own music, but you won't be able to distribute. Even though it's digital, we won't be putting it on our platform unless you have a label. Update the Let's Play World in the marketplace of the Toycat songs as music discs. Honestly, okay, I think you're onto something there now. We are in the process of making the creative world. So it would be insane, but also objectively funny to replace the music discs, you know, for the music disc hunt with Toycat songs. You know, this is the wildest idea. It's really easy to get on Spotify. I used to have a song there of 100 to 500 monthly listeners. You can buy a distributor contract for like $20 a year. Oh. Do you still pay that, Codec? I'm fascinated, to be honest with you. I am beyond fascinated. Lol, pay what you want for physical items doesn't seem like a good idea. I mean, I think that it still can work, but you just have to have a minimum, right? It's like, pay what you want. And this is... But even then, I guess... Okay, if I said pay what you want for my card, and then I think right now it'd be something like £24 or like current price minus a few dollars, because that's where its current profitability is. I feel like what would be your incentive to pay more than that? I feel like pay what you want works because you can pay so little. People like show gratitude and kind of like pay it forwards. That doesn't work if you say pay what you want. Also, there's a high minimum. But yeah, Chantal learned why that does not work. I've never actually heard 99 Love Balloons till the video. I think it was based on a real song, but I didn't know what it was until I heard it on the radio at the bank. Ooh, look at Balo going to the bank. Wow, I can't believe you, Balo. You're so wealthy that you have to go to the bank just to manage your money, and yet still somehow don't do this. Also, pay what you want never made sense to me, because why would you not just pay nothing? I think that good pay what you want lets you pay as little as 1 cent. In my opinion, I think I would like to do this, actually. I think I would like to... I used to think I couldn't do this. I think I might sell like a Java copy of the Let's Play World and on a pay what you want system. I think that would be fun. But I think it would have to be a payment of some form. So you could also say $1 minimum, because on a 1 cent transaction, I might lose money to the credit card company. Like, you know, even if it's a digital good, you can still lose money. But I think it would be really cool to do a system like that. Because I think that a lot of people, like, a lot of the world relies on people, you know, supporting things that they like. I think YouTube is obviously the prime example of that. But there are lots of other things, too, that work on this exact same assumption. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I think some people really, it makes them uncomfortable. Like, I'm going to India, chat, and I do have a, like, one of the quirks of Indian society that just, like, doesn't gel with me, personally, is, the, like, everything is a negotiation, and everything is based on, if you know people. You know, everyone be willing to scam you unless you're, you know, like, you're a friend, or unless you're a colleague, unless, you know, like, your guy, you know, you need to know someone who tells people, basically, this guy's cool, don't scam him. And I think for a lot of people, that's like, that's no fun. Why can't he just not scam everyone? You know, it's kind of the opposite of YouTube in that way. I give you the same service in this live stream. Legitimately, if you are someone who has been here forever, you know, if you're Scoopsky Cat, who just made a delightful anime girl Toycat Skyglue thumbnail, or you are someone else, you're going to India, where? Oh, you haven't heard, KMB. Yeah, I have mild... I'm going to the capital region. I would love to hear if you have anything to say about that. That's pretty much how the rest of the world works, too. Yeah, but we kind of hide it, right? We kind of hide it. I'm too much of a rigid thinker to negotiate. If someone offers a price, I either accept it or assume it's too expensive. Yeah, I think the world works better that way. Okay, you know, a lot of my adult life, I think I've spent being a believer in dynamic pricing. A lot of things are dynamically priced, and especially if you're on the beneficiary end of dynamic pricing, it works quite well. A good example of this would be basic economy flights. Basic economy is a way of saying, look, some people can't afford the most expensive flight tickets, but if we just sell cheaper tickets, then, like, you know, I guess dynamic pricing would be more like, if you book a flight for a random Tuesday in January, it might cost you £12. If you book it for the school holidays in August, it might cost you £200. My daughter is a Spotify artist. She has 15 songs, 1 to 200 monthly listeners, and makes maybe £30 a year. Oh, I should totally do it. Free will is a concept, and Toycat is living proof of it. You know, I'm going to use my pre-will to say it still pays since it lets me own the rights to the songs, and I needed the deal with the distributor. Otherwise, someone could upload on YouTube, and I couldn't take it down. Oh, you're serious about your thing here. Your music does generally have to have mixing and audio leveling, or they'll take it off. Do you think my mixing has... do you think my songs have mixing and audio leveling? Again, just for your benefit, I'll play a little more. You know, just so we can all be sure about exactly what I'm referring to when I say this. No, not this, not this. New ideas, or sometimes absolutely nothing new at all. Minecraft's thriving, and my channel do be vibing. This'll be the greatest thing you've ever seen. I will continue this constantly weekly update of life, the universe, and everything between. Cause I would make 500 Let's Plays, and I would make 500 more just to be the man of your desire and prevent your house from catching fire. Start up Minecraft. Does that have mixing in it? To be honest, I don't know much of India since my family moved there shortly after I was born, but curious to see your review after you go. Yeah, it's a very whistle-stop India thing. It's not been possible to make a whistle stop as a foreigner for a while. Like the visa process used to be really, really lengthy. So I'm excited to just, like, I think I would like to see the whole subcontinent. Like I'm from Sri Lanka, but I've only ever been to the airport there. I think I would really like to see the rest of the area, but not normalization. No, that's definitely 2 tracks of our edits just added together. I don't understand the difference. I'm very sorry to be obtuse here. I know that I'm, like, the least musically minded person on the planet. But I literally don't understand what mixing would be in that, like, what, I don't understand how the 2 tracks are together, but one is louder than the other. Is that not just how music works? Are you meant to, like, fade in and out? Are you going to drive in India? No, I had an Uber driver in New York that insisted on telling me in great depth about his conspiracy theories regarding the country, and about how he's like, yeah, you can just hit a cow there. And I was like, oh, sounds serious. And he's like, yeah, it's pretty serious, huh? My cousin died because she rode a motorbike into a cow. Yeah, I if you get on Spotify, I'll put it in my crying playlist to shock me when I'm sad. That's what I'm talking about. What are you doing with the extra non-sold cards? Burn them, I guess. Logically. No, so just to be clear, this is like a tricky thing to communicate, but we are 1 card away from spinning the wheel of Toycat and from Chantal giving away an additional free cape to someone who is lucky in this chat. I thought mixing was just editing audio in general, but it looked like the audio wasn't changed, is what I meant from recording. Oh. But for normalization, could you... Yeah, I literally do not understand what would be mixing. Mixing's just balancing the audio levels of the tracks. I have a music degree, so trust me. Yeah, music degree! Man, this is why I love the internet. I assume you're telling the truth to Jova, but even if you weren't, you'd have put my mind to ease. It might as well be ChatGPT saying, like, oh yeah, great question, Andrew. I see why you'd think what you think, but actually, Man, I love the way ChatGPT just validates you on everything you say. It's the best. You know, you're right, actually. Also, mixing is to make the song sound good on most devices and audio systems. It's about leveling the tracks individually. Ah. I'll have to I'll ask a distributor what they think. I bet I could get like 500 listens a month. That seems believable. Also, it's fun that your daughter's a Spotify artist. Polly, I felt like that has not come up before. You can try and auction off over leftover merch if there's enough interest. So yeah, here's how it actually works though. So if we sell 350, then I will buy another 150. If we don't, then they just won't make them, and we get a much lower price per unit. Or we get a much higher price per unit, so a much lower profit per unit. And that's just kind of how it is. That's why the crisis is in like, okay. That's why it's not like, here's something, you can get it if you want. It's like every additional person who gets something helps make back the overall costs and therefore brings down the overall cost down. Have you roped Amble into this? No, actually. I'll ask him. I bet he knows really well. He's got a music degree too. Man, I know so many musicians. I'm basically a musician myself. If osmosis works the way we'd like to believe it does, then I should be a musician. So I'm going to fall off soon. Oh, not for a while. I graduated last year. My card is my school card. Also, I was the 278 card sold. You know, MK Wilbur, everyone should be thanking you right now. Our stream would have ended half an hour ago, but thanks to the 6 gracious people who bought a card today, we are much closer to that than we were before. You're building the pyramid in such a peculiar way. Yeah, last stream, I did it in a very reasonable way. But now, because we haven't got enough smooth stone, we do have to specifically build in a very odd way, which is kind of fun. I realize you probably sign per buy, not sign 1,000, then hope they sell. Yeah, if I signed 1,000, then hope they'd sell, I'd be very deep in the red right now, and I'd be crying and begging people to buy some cards. As it stands, I'm like, okay, we'll do better next time. You know, which is good. I like not crying. But, I mean, like, I think everyone needs a bit of a cry every now and then. She's called Ember Eyes, just writes, plays, and sings all her own stuff. That's actually really cool. Really, really cool. You should keep the cards to use for gifts for white elephant parties and stuff like that. I think... Yeah, I guess, I was a little worried about what to do with them. It is much easier to not have to worry about it, but it is kind of fun, like, all of these ideas are quite fun. Also, Balo, I'm going to call you out again. You might have responded to my previous call out, but I missed it. I don't think you ever cried on stream. I'd be extremely concerned. I'm going to see if I can get myself to cry. You know what, Dasher? Let's get some tears going. No, it sucks. Now that I think I can... I think for most of my life, I don't think I could cry on command. I think I could get myself to cry if I needed to. Yeah. Like, if someone was like, here's $100, please cry, I think I could do it. Nope. Can't cry. Thought I could. I imagine the $100. Maybe I was too happy. I'm such a... You know, when someone's speaking my love language, I just can't be sad. And even if I'm imagining someone speaking my love language, it's like try to imagine crying, but then also imagine, you know, really good movie ending. Man, the worst bit about losing a parent is now every scene where someone, like, loses their mother or, like, they're not there or something like that. It's just extra sad. I don't like that. It's not a toycat video or stream if he isn't building in a peculiar way. Yeah! Think about the British Empire, that'll get the tears flowing. It's just so sad that we can't civilize the world anymore. We were doing such a good job for so long. Is make toycat cry an option on the toycat wheel? I'm waiting for it to be spun. It is crazy because we have 11 minutes, if not a single of... Oh, we just hit it! Okay. Thank you to the 2 people, or maybe 1 person who bought 2 cards, for extending the stream for 10 minutes. Crazy stuff. You should have made an apology video of one of your songs, apologizing for not promoting your card enough. That's definitely one way to get the spice rolling for sure. I should have though. You're right. Also, I should cry. Also, think about your duplicate payments for the realm. Okay, I'm gonna think about. They've been going on for like 3 years, so that's £96. I'll think about what I could. I'll think about the 4 lobster rolls I could have bought with that. Nope. I'm trying. I got closer. That's good, you know. You know, there's a few things that I feel like you give yourself too much pressure to do it and you just can't. Like, it's dumb that I can't cry on command. It's dumb there's a lot of things I can't do on command. But crying is the one I especially think about. So yeah, my next lair should be the next one down here. We're going down. We're getting all the stone layers done to a certain point, and then we'll put everything else in at the same time. Are we wheel spinning? Great question, Stay Berry. Are we wheel spinning, chat? I need someone to answer. I'm doing that annoying thing. You know when people like give a talk, and they're like, everyone say hi. Oh, that was pathetic. Say good morning, but better. Nothing makes me want to kill myself as much. Oh, if I think about that, I bet I can cry. Chat is ruthless about your acting. I realize there's an ocean monument underneath this pyramid. Exactly, we're covering it up. No one will know there is an ocean monument down there. It looks steeper than I thought it would be. It is weird that it looks steep, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think I can cry on command. I don't think so either. Chat, what is going to happen? If you want to keep code, get the relevant page open and be prepared to enter it. Oh, you want to do the giveaway that way, Chantal? That is a way that makes a lot of sense, I think. Okay, chat. The Wheel of Toycat, it's back. We will spin it, and whatever it says, unless it's specific to one commenter, because this isn't a $50 tip or 10 sold, we will do. I'm not looking forward to Shot Bad being on there. Man, last time though, Shot Bad really lit up my evening. I've got to say, like, casual alcoholism, I see the appeal after that. Anyway, with that said, speaking of casual alcoholism, let's spin the wheel. Chat, what's it gonna be? It could be anything. Oh no, oh no, oh, it's Make Lair from Weird Blocks. That's a weird one. Chat, there's gonna be a weird lair in this pyramid. Now, weird is obviously at my discretion, but I do actually have an idea. So I think we need to be exactly halfway for this idea to work. I'm going to see if I filled in the exact halfway layer. So if we start at Y63, then middle would be Y113, I think. Oh, we've already done Y113. So we can go another 10 layers up to Y123. And we've already done that. So if we go another 6 layers up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've already done this too. Have we done it all the way around? Or just most of the way around? Okay, only some of the way around. I think that 2/3 of the pyramid up would be a cool place to put something. Make it out of netherite blocks. Now there's an idea. I'm shocked he didn't manually change it. Oh, I can just do that? Spin plus drink. I'll finish my iced tea then. Gotta say, I really love my McDonald's beverage and my Coca-Cola and my Recycle It recycling point. Oh, super good. Double smooth stone slabs just to make it look slightly off and awkward. Oh, I love that actually, Scoopsky Cat. I think double smooth stone slabs would be perfect. I think it's so stupid, but yet so perfect. Yeah, I really like that actually. So if 66 was the bottom, 96 would be 1/3 up. No, it'd be 99. It'd be this layer here. So If we do stone slabs, it doesn't work the same, right? It's only, if I'm not mistaken, 2 stone slabs just look like a stone block. It's just the weird legacy of... Yeah, I guess, okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get some blocks. And we're gonna have to do it. I'm gonna specially reserve a layer for this. I'll have to somehow remind myself that that is true. I'll put torches all over it. That should be good enough. I think we've only got 15 minutes left of the stream right now. Except, no, still 50 minutes left of the stream. So just in case, double smooth stone slab as it is, sounds genius. Yeah, I think it's a really fun, silly idea. So of course we're gonna do it. So this layer right here is the layer. We'll just put torches all over it. And then I'll do the layers above and below it. Just to make it abundantly clear what is happening here. And then once we get to this corner, we can then start destroying it. Oh, it does go all the way around. I thought it didn't. Am I mixing this up? Am I lost and confused? Is it that layer up there that doesn't? No, there's definitely a whole bottom layer. So it's 120, 116 was the middle ground, I think we agreed, which is here. So it would be 126 plus 3. Or maybe it's 126 plus this one. You know, whatever, we'll do this one here anyway. We'll go for the rough maths. Enchantment tables. Ooh, yeah, that'd be a good use for diamonds, huh? Would love to get a better use for diamonds out here. But yeah, so that means I'm going to just stick to doing my stone runs right now. And now we can add... I do think I think double slabs is just such a devious, like... It's going to look so wonky in a beautiful way. I think this layer would be good for it. We've only got a few of them placed. Except that corner. I missed the forgotten art of Minecraft machinimas. Nowadays it's animations or role plays. Yeah, I think that genres definitely appear and die on YouTube so quickly in the Minecraft space. Like, there was a huge era of the Minecraft space where it was like everyone is doing, you know, like I think it was the hide and seek era was a wild one to me. Like, how did that become a genre in its own right? But it became a genre, it came, and then it just went. It was gone as quickly as it got there. Scoopsky idea is the perfect fit for this. So Scoopsky's idea is double smooth stone slabs. Yeah, I do think so. But maybe you can utilize my idea somewhere else. So your idea is a layer of infested stone. Can you actually make infested stone? I should know, but my brain tells me no. But I'm guessing the answer is yes. Yeah, making machinimas was cool back in the day. It was a huge genre of its own right. Make a layer of concrete instead of stone. Sort of the same, but different. Yeah, that's a fun one too. We're definitely going to put a silly block on here, chat. Depending on how long this stream lasts, you may see it right now. It does tend to be that, like, a lot of people love to be, like, the one to have the action. So we sometimes see the weird effect where, like, the stream is 5 minutes to go for a while. But sometimes it's over much sooner. I heard Hytale is going to have its own machinima tool. Yeah, it has one, but it's really janky. It's really, really janky. It crashed my game the first time I tried to use it. To give you an idea of just how janky. Lure silverfish from a strong... Do silverfish really bury into blocks? I don't know if that's true. Also, I checked my bank account, got an extra $50 out of nowhere. Would you like to spin the wheel, Johnny Woodstock? There's the question. So, Johnny, I didn't get the answer. Where are you from? What's the secret? Tell me. Also, get your cape right now. There's the code, chat. Use it. Get your Minecraft experience cape so we can match together. Life will be good. IBX Toycat uploaded Minecraft is going to require age verification for social features 4 hours ago. I wonder how it's doing, actually. Ooh, pretty well, apparently. Windows Vista codes. Have you seen the fun fact that one of the many pages in the emstim files is him, like, booting, like, putting a Windows code in a computer, and so you can use his code of Windows to actually, activate your device, which is just silly, but it is kind of delightful in my opinion. I love dumb niche stuff like that. Yeah. My brain is telling me. Now I think about it, it's kind of insane you never see silverfish in those underground cave puddle areas. I don't know why I didn't just copy the code. Who got it? Oh, Stayberry got it? Did you really get it, Stayberry? What's your cape look like? Tell me your secrets. Speaking of secrets, we have to put some of these back in there. I'll put the 16 just for now. And we have to keep on placing. All day we be placing, chat. It's my job now. Have you ever seen infested stone in old mountain biomes way deep down? Silverfish jump from blocks and bury in others. I feel like I've never seen one bury in one. I guess I'm ignorant. And separately, I've never seen that. Yeah, you can use infested potions, but would it actually help you? Again, I can't imagine the mobs actually doing it. I just can't. I'm from Aruba, born and raised. So what does that make you? Are you Aruban? Are you Dutch? Like, your passport is Dutch, presumably, or like Netherlands Antilles or whatever it's called. But yeah, I've just got some questions. I've just got some. And how did you end up with such a British name then, Nigel? What's the deal with that? Also, I feel like being born on... I know I'm from an island. I'm from, like, a pretty big island, though. You know, like, there's, like, 70 million people living on this island. Like, 0.1% of the human population lives on this tiny little island that I happen to live on. Kind of nuts when you think about it. Actually, here's a really nutty fact. I might have the population of Russia wrong here. But Russia is the biggest country on Earth, and it has something in the order of 130 million people. I might be off on that by a couple tens of millions, but it's less than 100. It's less than 200. So the population of the UK, a tiny, tiny, tiny island, is half of that of the world's biggest country. That really goes to show how many people live here, huh? Yeah, I think that I think this project has been a really fun one, and I'm glad that a lot of people have enjoyed the journey as well. It is kind of a fun one to have in the world, and I'm really looking forward to just like seeing it as I go past. But I definitely think we need like a render distance increase for that to work. Java has a larger population than Russia. There's more Java players than there. No, I know what you mean there. That I didn't know that Java had a higher population than Russia. 142 mil, I think. Again, 142 mil is almost exactly double the UK. So again, largest landmass owned by a single country. Roughly as many people as a little island. This tiny little island. It's kind of nuts when you really boil that down to it. I'm named after Nigel Mashrews, the person who designed the currency bills here, and the person that helped my mother get into higher education. Oh, that's nice. I bet everyone knows everyone a little bit on small islands. Like, so, again, the difference between the UK with 70 million people and Aruba, which is closer to 70,000. Like, my brain can't comprehend that. More people in Bangladesh than Russia. Oh, yeah, there's a fun fact. There's a geography fact after my own heart. Russians are dope, though. You hear that, Dasher? Russians are dope. That means we're going to arrest you for having them. And you better believe that you go to prison for a while for it. Okay, so I bet that's because most of Russia's uninhabitable. Oh, yeah, especially the far north and the far east. Honestly, even the west, it's not particularly great in the winter. Like, the further east you go on a continent, the further east you go away from an ocean, I should say, the less inhabitable that continent becomes. It's one of the weird, like, truths of the world. So I'm guessing, like, you know, like, on the same layers, Eastern China would be, like, less warm than Western China on the same, you know, latitude. Okay, also, I mean, I have it anyway, but I can't apply it to Java. If you have a cape on Bedrock, you also have it on Java. You can never get a cape on one version or the other anymore. If I'm not mistaken. So, chat. Yeah, I think it's... I spend a lot of time thinking about how weird the world is and the distribution of it all. Like, I think it's crazy the number of people... I think it's crazy how much there is, like, a birth lottery. Like, where you just happen to be born dictates so much of your life, you know? It dictates what you believe. It dictates so much about who you are fundamentally. And it's something you have no control over. Like, you know, the stoicism idea, or just the idea of, like, try to only focus on that which you can control. And even, it leads you into the logic of, like, well, what about things you don't control? Should you believe you control them, or should you not? But I think there's, like, a deeper argument about, like, the most important thing that will ever happen to you is outside your control. It's where you're born, and then who you're born to. If you're born to abusive parents in a country without, you know, running water and decent infrastructure, you're probably in for a rough life. Your highest expectation is probably taking quite a few dings. How many times have you been asked about Hytale on today's stream so far? I think 0 times. I think people were talking about the 2-week Hytale phase. If my analytics are anything to go by, and my observation of the YouTube space, it feels like it was a Hytale 3 days. I figured the weekend would be the big moment where everyone, like, really gets into Hytale. Like, it's often true when a game comes out on a Tuesday, that it's the Saturday after where it goes crazy, because everyone has the free time to play it. I don't think that's happened. Well, actually, I'll check the stats, see if I'm not wrong. To be fair, I live in a weird time zone for some people. So looking at the numbers right now, chat, they tell me that, yeah, the Hytale bump is not there. You know, maybe it is, and people have found the specific creators that it's there for. But I don't know. So, Kat, do you believe in luck? I say with 3 minutes left on the timer, if you'd like to add 5 more minutes to the stream, simply go to creocards.com/ibxtoycat. Would you want to give me some luck? Or do you want to see the stream end? Honestly, we got 40 extra minutes today, thanks to the gracious people who bought cards. Thank you very much for it. Yeah, I think that luck is definitely a concept. I can't help but view the world with the understanding that everything that I've done in this world, I did. But I'm lucky that I was there in the right moment to be able to do so. Like, if I grew up as an only child, or if I just grew up without the internet, then my single biggest talent, as far as the world is concerned, which is, I don't know, dicking about and playing Minecraft and building pyramids, my single biggest talent wouldn't have been utilized. So it doesn't matter how good I am at this, right? Even if we imagine I'm the most talented Minecraft streamer ever, I don't know that that's true. I would suspect that it's not. But even if we imagine that it is, I would not have been able to do it were it not for the luck that led me here in the first place. Yeah, it's a weird one. I think that everyone, you know, a lot of people really want to overplay luck to minimize their own personal decision making. You know, to remove personal responsibility means to overplay luck. But I still think that everyone, speaking of everyone, this makes up 1/8 of a card. That's gonna count for something. I'll give you 1/8 of a minute. That's probably about right. Hytale feels like a game designed by and for the Minecraft fandom / YouTubers, which will likely limit its potential. But yeah, I think that luck is something a lot of people really play into to minimize their own contribution and or, you know, downsides. But I also think that it is very real and you need to acknowledge it, which sounds like contradictory positions to some. Also, 2/8 of a card, you know, I'll give you, there we go. Look at this, chat. The stream's dying moments will continue on for a little longer. And someone has just bought, so those 8 seconds each were great. Oh, actually, they'd be 8 parts of 5 seconds. But we just got 2 cards sold over at creocards.com/ibxtoycat, meaning another 10 minutes. We're safe. The stream's not over. We're good to go. Also, Johnny Woodstock bought the bullet and just bit the bullet and bought my card. Hey, congratulations. I'm excited for people to have these. It's going to be cool to sign them. Again, I think I'm going to This is a weird thing, right? This is I think I am gonna beat myself up about how this went. I think there's a lot to be proud of in how the run went, etc. I'm really happy that as many people want a card as do. I do think that I think there's going to be like a bit of a mixed feeling about it being over. But I also think it's just so cool to put something in the world. There's this really like cool feeling of having made a thing that people enjoy that I'm going to feel real good about. Also, 3/8 of a card. Yeah, we go in longer, chat. I can't wait for my toycat DNA. Yeah, you better believe you're getting the highest quality toycat DNA. Also, thank you, Hauntin, for getting the wheel spin. Because of you, our pyramid will be more beautiful than it was before. In fact, I definitely have some stone on... I don't have any wood on me anywhere. Oh, wait, down here I could get some. Let's go do the stone slab lair now. You know what, Hauntin? You've convinced me. Or I've convinced myself. Oh, there's so much stone in here, too. I genuinely forgot that I had a double chest full of stone down here. I might have forgotten forever, to be honest with you. Glad I'm out here. Also, I need to go grab that smooth stone box now. So let's... I think it's funny because I put all the work to put it into this chest. And now I'm going to load it out of the chest back into a shulker box. But such is life, I guess. Let's go. But yeah, chat. We are at 283 OBX3 cards sold. 283 people will be receiving a mailed envelope with my DNA. And that's going to be very fun, I've got to say. I mean, realistically, visualize the number of cards sold to people and think about how many human beings there are really puts it into perspective. Yeah, I think about that every time I see, like, I think the number of channel members is, like, a ridiculous thing. Like, in terms of... I think in business it can be tempting to, like, minimize everything to numbers, because you do kind of have to at some point. But it's crazy that every number represents a person. Yeah, I've got to say, luck is just human perception of good, bad coincidences, which are expected to happen by statistics. Yeah, but good and bad coincidences feel really personal. I can't be the only one who feels that way. Like, a good or a bad coincidence feels like, you know, the difference between... Okay, so let's just load in some stone to there. Like, the difference between a good or bad coincidence is the difference between your like, I don't know, let me tell you my silliest story, chat. I went to Vegas and I brought I figured rather than like having like a fine amount of gambling money, I took all of my gambling money for the week and just put it all on red. And I have such a good story to tell because it came off. I won $1,000. It was crazy. But it equally could have gone the other way. And I think that when you look at, like, also, lick one of the cards and surprise one lucky fan. Okay, so 126 is, I think, what we logically worked out we should do. 60% of the way to the top. Let's go. I'm going to lick all of the cards, by the way. For legal reasons, no, I'm not. But for non-legal reasons, I'm going to lick every single one of those cards. It's going to be delightful, chat. You're gonna love your lick DNA. You don't know that I'm not. You can't confirm I'm not licking cards. Unless you don't want me to lick your card. In which case, say don't lick right now and I'll not lick your card. So which lair is my lair, says Johnny Woodstock. So your 2 cards added 10 minutes to the stream timer. We have 7 minutes to go left off those. So the stream would have ended 10 minutes ago or 3 minutes ago. But you're generous, forbidden illegal lick. Yeah, if it gets back to Creo that I'm licking the cards, you know, we're going to have some issues. They're going to send me a strongly worded email suggesting that I do not. But still, it's a thing that might happen. Please kiss it with red lipstick so we know we got our money's worth. I could probably obtain some lipstick. I bet I own some lipstick. I bet there's some lipstick lying around somewhere. It's the bathtub water all over again. You know, I think the fact that I didn't sell that water. My friend moved into my house because I moved to the US. and I think the story is like his girlfriend threw it out or something like that. I should have sold it. Again, just not even because it would have made sense. I'm sure I'd have lost money on it. But I love the idea of silly things existing in the world. Someone needs to make it happen. Okay, so chat, this is our crazy... We got 6 minutes to do it, but this is our crazy double slab lair. It's a very beautiful lair. Yeah, look at this. And you can claim ownership for the fact that it gets to exist in today's stream. I still don't know which lair is my lair, says Johnny Woodstock. Johnny Woodstock! Every lair being specifically owned by someone didn't actually ever exist, but it was the stream concept for the last stream. On this stream, it's that every card sold adds 5 minutes to the stream. Instead of being a number of lairs, it's specifically an amount of time. There we go. Good stuff. Codex says, okay, what is Iron Brew, though? I've been wondering for a while. No way you don't have Iron Brew. You're missing out on a lot of things in life. But especially that. Yeah, I'm going to make so many slabs in this lair. It does look pretty nice, actually. You've got to admit, this is a pretty cool lair. Give it some real credit. I'm proud this is my contribution, having one lair look off needlessly. Is it a toycat build if things don't look needlessly off for some reason? My lair is lair 123. Okay, this is your lair. You can claim it, Johnny Woodstock. I'm making it official. This is your torch too. Actually, wait. So, Johnny Woodstock. These are your 4 torches. Perfect. Yeah, we have 4 minutes left to go, though, chat. They drank it together. Wait, they drank it together? Oh, they drank it together. My friend and his girlfriend. That's the correct... I bet that's what they did. I bet they were like, aha, we got it. Hee hee hee. Oh ho ho. I have secretly been French this whole time, trying to screw this guy who does not like the French. So me and my girlfriend will go and take it together. Ha ha ha. I'm currently in my 2-week Minecraft phase. It's been 10 years. Yeah, I'm on year 12 of my 2-week Minecraft phase. Looking forward to the end anytime now. Sorry guys, I actually claimed all the lairs for the British Empire. Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. Britons never ever will be slaves. That's true. You should have dedicated lairs using signs. You know, next time we... Hey! Polly! Spin that... Aw, that text-to-speech was disappointing. Chat. What's it gonna be? Ooh, let's find out. I've never held the wheel while it's spinning before, but... Oh! Pause 2 minutes. So we will pause the game. It doesn't actually pause with realms, which makes this one extra funny. And I'll add those 2 minutes to the timer because obviously not real building. I appreciate you, Polly. And you know what? I've got to say, if there's one thing to take away from these, I think it's also the idea of feeling loved. I know it's... I know that this is a messy thing, but I think especially if you are in the business of making things, having people that care when you make those things is really, really cool. Pause craft, let's go. And the number of people who are like yourself, Polly, who are showing that, it's something that I really like. It's something that brings me joy and brings me lots of other good feels. And so thank you for that. Everyone, just know these 2 minutes of pause are not real pause, but I hope that it brings us back to the good days. Man, that was the wildest pay-to-win stream I think I've ever done. The pause craft was absolutely ridiculous. We did beat the game. Oh no, we didn't actually, right? If I recall how that went correctly. Or did we actually in the end? You know, let's find out. We got some minutes. We're paused. Chat, do you remember? Did I beat Minecraft in the end, or did I get destroyed by it? And I just forgot. $99 ways it could have gone. In everyone a red button. Yeah, I don't know why I wouldn't fit on Spotify. Yeah, I'll set that up. Well, that's a big goal for me. Love equals money. Yeah, I do think there's a... I do see why that is an unhealthy view for some. Also, beautiful Polly. People got so mad. Yeah. That really added to it, didn't it? I do think sometimes it's cool when we create a piece of art together. Like, you know, this pyramid kind of exists because so many people were like, yeah, I reckon I'll you know, support this card thing if it also means that a big structure comes out of it. So I'm going to go through this gap here. Don't hit the wall, don't hit the wall, don't hit the wall. I didn't hit the wall. Because this is where the crafting table is. Yeah, I bet he makes his girlfriend pay to keep him around. You'd be surprised how true that is, Chantal. You should pause the timer. Oh, that's what I could have done. Pause the timer for 2 minutes. Rather than... You know, I guess the other way works as well. November 9th, 2025, we did not win. You know, we did not win. But did we win? I think spiritually speaking, the clear answer is yes. But yeah, what it is fun to me that I can come up with one of those ideas and that people are like, this is stupid, yes. And so the fact that, like, the card, there's a lot of people who are like, you know, even Johnny Woodstock just now is like, this is furry art, I'm not supporting it. And at the last minute, he's like, okay, I'll support it. I'll buy some furry art. I found that. Oh, speaking of that last minute, we just got another card purchased, bringing us up to 6 minutes remaining. And 716 cards left in the bank. There's also a crafting table at the top of the entrance. Oh, thank you, Jeff Kalin. Thank you very much. You know, also thank you for being a regular, and for again allowing these things to exist. It is an honor. It is a hard thing to say, but like every year I get to keep doing this is an honor. It is a thing I get to do. Ooh, what if you sold a physical map of your world? How cool would that be? You know how games used to come with maps of the world? It'd be really cool to like sell a physical map of the Let's Play. I feel like this is a golden idea. Buy a bunch of USB drives, buy a bunch of maps. I guess high quality printing probably gets expensive fast, right? Yeah, I think it'd be really cool to do something silly like that. Like, the sort of thing that, like... The one downside of using Creo, right, is even though they're a company, like, I was looking forward to using, at the same time that you can buy my card, there is another YouTuber that's selling a card, and they're famous for being the Hermitcraft card people. And so it means that even though, you know, like, this might be the third card that you've seen from them, I have this, like, deep desire in my soul to be first at whatever it is I'm doing. I'm like a YouTube comment. Just like, yeah, first. I did this before anyone else. We're good. Yeah, I've got my Oblivion and Skyrim maps as well. Yeah, Oblivion was the game I was thinking of, actually. That was the first game where I loved having that. I don't know, I'm acting like I'm being held hostage. I want to go to sleep, but not before the stream ends. Sorry, just to be clear here, Xavier, you are being held hostage. Don't you dare think about leaving the stream before it's over. I will shoot. There will be harm done to someone. I don't know who, but your attention is being held hostage. By my need for validation, if nothing else. But yeah, I think that's my real postmortem that I would have, is that I think it's really cool that we made something into existence, but I definitely now want to try and work out what is even more unique than that. So obviously, like I mentioned, I think the creative world is a fun thing. I think the album, putting that on Spotify would be funny. But yeah, in the era of like needing to make YouTuber products to survive, or whatever you want to call that, needing to have supplemental revenue streams, I want to do it in a fun and silly way. And that's kind of what I have for today. By the way, this is a fun, silly milestone. Probably our last milestone. That will... Hey! Nigel! 420th of the card. Shout out, Beast. This is 1.7.3 gang. You know, I'll add some seconds for that. Sounds good to me. Lol, the hipster mindset. Yeah, and I think it is an important mindset for someone in society to have. You need to have some percentage of your society going, yeah, actually, it's stupid. Doing things just because other people are doing things isn't a good reason to do it. You know, social proof is a valuable thing for us, I guess. But yeah. Also, once you enter a toycat stream, the exit stream button is deleted. Yeah, don't you dare do it. As long as the harm isn't done to me, I'm all good. We're gonna get Stockholm syndrome. You certainly will, especially when it's a Minecraft stream. Yeah, sleeping at 9:55, Xavier. What's wrong with you? You. No, I assure you the stream will be done in just 2 minutes. That is the current expectation. As long as the number doesn't go down from 716 to 715, which it of course just did. Thank you to... So it's going to overflow a little bit. And then... break. Okay, there we go. How much Minecraft do you play in a week? Ooh, so thank you very much for the 285th IBX toy card sold. How much Minecraft do I play in a week, Darcy? Let's see if Realm Stories is up again. Hey! Realms is back. Chat, great news. So just in my Let's Play world, bear in mind, I've got a lot of non-Minecraft I do for my job. Looking at this, you can see, like, Sunday to Saturday, I would say that's about an hour, if I had to guess. That's about 2 hours. That was closer. That's probably another 2, I'd say. That was probably 3. I think it was my stream. I think, yeah, it was close to 3, like, just before and just after my stream as well. And then we've been streaming for another... So I played for about an hour in my world before this stream, which is that. And then another... How long be going? Just under 3 hours? So 4-ish? So 4, 5, 8, 10, 12. About 12 hours on my Let's Play world. This week, at least. Obviously, it's... I think if you look at last week, it would be even more because of the 7-hour stream. What isn't 4:20 for 5 minutes, 1 minute? I'll give you 9 more seconds for your appeal here. I made up the rules and we're good. Also, any IBX Toycat 2965 fans here? What is the IBX Toycat 2965? That feels like I'm in an alternate universe, but that's a real number. Car train, choo choo. That's right. The stream could keep on going, and if we just sold 5 more, then we'd spin the wheel of Toycat again. There's a lot of silly options on there, Toycat. Toy chat. I'm Toycat. I'm not talking to myself. I mean, I am talking to myself. Kind of weird, huh? Okay, so that's the dream, to play Minecraft 12 hours a week. I think it's a good. I think it's a good living. I like the way my week goes. I mean, but to me, I really did like the working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living situation. 420 was said so many times in a row, it summoned me. Hey! That's what I'm talking about. So now we got a bunch of smooth stone. Should we just start going for it? No, I feel like we have to let this... No, let's go for it. Let's just go for it. Let's pick the layer that needs this most and fill that one in next. I don't think you added the last card to the stream timer correctly. I think I did. Yeah, 12 cards. So we've been going for an hour, 2 minutes longer than we should. It looked like it froze the timer, so it looked kind of messed up. But I'm pretty sure we did. Do you want me to add another second? Because that'll make it go down. Okay, there we go. We'll make it a nice round minute time. So, we started with the end time being 9 PM. Then we've sold 12 cards. which is 12 times 5 minutes, is an hour. So it's 10 p.m., but then it's 10:02 p.m. because of Polly-E's spin the wheel that resulted in a pause, which is effectively adding 2 minutes to the timer. And then we've added all these random seconds because people are saying they've tipped some percent of a card. And I'm not doing the maths on the fly, and if I did the maths and sat down and did it, I think we'd mess up and cause some issues there. Okay, so I think the next layer that needs to be done is definitely this one. Let's go do it. Whew. Yeah, I'm glad that you think playing Minecraft 12 hours a week is a dream. I'm glad that I get to. I sometimes really wish I could play more. But again, like, I think life, the worst thing you can do, comparison is the thief of joy is the phrase here. But like, I can't tell you how many people I've met who seem like they have everything who are just miserable. Because if you spend your whole life comparing to other people, you'll never be convinced that what you have is valuable. And so that's the thing. Also, I'm a stats tutor, so trust me, you actually owe us 1 hour of time. Oh, no. Chat, did you hear about that? We got to add an extra hour. No, I would guess. We have 2 minutes and 25 seconds left. I do think a lot of people like to leave it to the last minute, but my guess is that this is the end. But it's impossible to say until you go to creocards.com/ibxtoycat. Also, only 75 days, but you play 12 hours a day. No, 12 hours a week. So that'd be the equivalent of just under 100 days a week. Like 70 if I slept every night perfectly, like I've been doing on this project. 35 if I didn't. So over a year doing that, I would get somewhere between 1,700 and 3,500 days. Obviously, there are weeks where I'm like traveling where I can't play any Minecraft. I could play it on my phone, but it's not the same. I don't know. Am I the only one who thinks that? Okay, so next layer we're going for. We should probably get these stone layers finished, actually. But next layer should be this one in between them, I think. Yeah, why not? Let's go for it. I've been getting a lot of joy out of making wooden bird sculptures in Minecraft. Yeah, Minecraft's an incredible game because of all the random elements of the game you can find fun. I got a real phase of making statues. I got into one. I just thought it was really fun. I just enjoyed it. How many days do you realistically think you have in the Let's Play world? Obviously, the counter doesn't include much of the LCE playtime. Apparently, again, so Seed Sunday next week. It's been planned around this week, but Harrison gave me the heads up today that we're probably not getting it out there this week because it's a huge Seed Sunday. But now they fixed that bug, interestingly. If you added my Legacy Console days, it probably is not that far past 10,000. I want to believe that it's super high, but I did play Minecraft pretty casually for many of the years of this world. Like, again, there was a phase where people are like, I play Minecraft 75 million hours a week, and so I can make one video from that. There was a little phase of that. I don't know what that accent was meant to be, by the way. Don't ask me. There was a phase where that became true, right? But I think for the most part, it's not been. Whew. Okay, so chat, there are 3 seconds left unless someone has ordered an additional card, which did just happen. We're down to 714 remaining, which means that the timer is still going. I missed it. I'm an idiot. Not very good at building suspense. To whoever owns the 286 IBX Toycat Collector's Edition card, you probably own the last one to be made, which is a very, very big, exciting deal. I think I want to do the maths on, like... Chat, should we buy a bunch of cards and sell them on eBay? Should we buy a bunch of cards and give them away as, like... You know, there's an idea in here somewhere. I don't know what it is. I don't know. How easy is it to set up, like, a Shopify for this? Like, how easy is it to sell things on the internet that you've made yourself? Like, what if I'll work this out, chat. I'll work this out. I'm starting to think now where, like, yeah, 286. We're like, again, like 70 from the break-even point of if I were to buy a bunch of them. What would I do with a bunch of cards, though? Chat, give me ideas. Be out eBay. Yeah, I will. I still love that pun. Figuring out how to play beta 1.7.3 on my phone genuinely changed my life. Oh, you play exclusively beta 1.7.3, do you? That's a fun concept. Scarcity marketing, become a millionaire. You can't buy my cards, chat. I won't let you. I will physically stop you. I will get a court injunction to stop you going to creocards.com/IBXtoycat. That is what will happen. So with 3 minutes to go, we did in fact just sell another one. Whoa, okay. Okay, my pessimism at the start of the stream may have been misplaced. Do a stream in a year or two and sell them somehow. Does it make more sense to make your own website or to sell on like eBay? I actually don't know. Just lie and say you didn't make it yourself. Call it vintage, rare, collectible. People will buy. Bathe in them. Oh, I could totally bathe in them. Okay, chat. We're getting closer to the dream of me having 100-ish Creo cards lying around the house. Okay, looking at the size of this, which is available at creocards.com/IBXtoycat, as someone just bought the 287th, proving scarcity in real time. Don't go to creocards.com/IBXtoycat. I will mess you up if you do. You will spend the rest of your life fighting the court order process because you can't have it. I need them. I'm gonna flog them on eBay. You can't flog them on eBay first and undercut me. Bitcoin in 2008. I really hope you sell the last 13 cards. Yeah, I sell cards to 5 people, tell them to sell 5 cards to people each. Yeah, if you do that, literally, if you do that twice, I sell to 5 people who sell to 5 people each, then another 5 people who sell to 5 people each. Literally just one level of downline, that's 250 cards sold. We'd run out. Yeah, I'm really, I think I'm really deep into the idea of, couldn't you put those on the toycat store? Wait, so do you make more if you sell 350, or it'd be better if it was under 350? Oh, over 350 is better, but then I also have to buy a bunch. If that makes any sense to you? Like, below 350, I could choose to buy a bunch at my own cost, and I'd have to make the money back by selling the cards. If we sell 350, then I get to buy 150 cards for effectively free. It'd be better if I sold the cards. Like, if we sold 500, it'd be better than selling 350. But at 350, I'd get a bunch of cards for free. It's just the way to really simplify it. Mr. Finger slipped. My finger slipped and you sold another. Oh no. The stream continues. 712 in stock. You know what, chat? If you're a lover of chaos, you know what we could do? If you are someone who loves your little bit of chaos. Also, that's a cool idea, a time capsule of old Toycat merch, like some cards, a couple of long boys and so forth. There's something we can do with it. Question, is it called the Update Adventures Let's Play because you adventure through updates or because you started it in the adventure update? So, you're blowing my mind because you're making me think I'm wrong about this. But the reason I think it's called the Update Adventures is I realized I explored my old world too early. My very first Let's Play, I kind of ballsed up how that went. And so the reason I started the Update Adventures was I specifically wanted a world that I could have adventures with through the updates. So when a new update came out, I'd want to explore it in that world. So hopefully that was one of your options, and I didn't give you neither of them. Buy a card to keep Xavier awake. That's right. Do you know how late it is in Russia? Do you want to keep Dasher awake longer? Do you want to keep Xavier from her much-needed bed? The easiest way is that. Also, I just noticed what you're wearing. Nice color combo. Thank you! I wore this shirt for my run this morning. It says fat face on it to keep me humble, you know. Remind myself that I am, in fact, quite fatted in the face. I bought my card like 2 days ago. Thanks for the extension. Said I'd do... Oh, yeah, right now! Thank you. I was looking... I even asked Dasher. I was like, can you help me find the person who asked for the extension? And we got to the idea. It was Ryan with a dog profile picture. But I don't remember anymore. Yeah, I was impressed they gave it to me. They did give me a very much like, we can never do one of these again. And in exchange, you have to sign these cards pronto. We're sending them to you, and we expect them back that week. Like, they gave me a very strict, like, people won't like us. You know, people will think we're the reason it's late otherwise. They were clear about their expectations, I guess we could say. That is not the correct way for that to go. Also, it's going to be funny looking on the inside of this and seeing all the imperfections. Imagine if you did start this world before the adventure update, you wouldn't get to the end until you expanded the world in Xbox One Edition. Oh, no, K and B. That is how it went. You want to know the story? I couldn't go to the end until I expanded my world. A lot of Xbox 360 players were boned. This is the dumbest thing. The strongholds that generated in the adventure update, assuming it might be in the update after that, TU7 even, but the strongholds wouldn't generate with end portals. So even though there was no end then, you would get a stronghold and it wouldn't have an end portal. And so I have a stronghold in my world that has no end portal. I have an end portal-less stronghold. Yeah, businesses being businesses. Yeah, like, it makes sense, right? Like, you are my customers, but you're also their customers. You probably would be mad if I said, guys, balls it up. Made a mistake here. But if they mess up your shipping, you can be mad at them. I mean, I give you permission. Oh, I forgot about that. I assume the stronghold generated an end portal. No, my closest end portal is outside my Xbox 360 world. If I didn't get an Xbox One, which I did specifically get for YouTube, funnily enough. But if I didn't get the Xbox One, I'd have been trapped, stranded, if you will. Signing stream when? Definitely a signing stream. It'll happen. So chat, with 712 in stock, couldn't they just make the frame blocks and not have them do anything? I don't know why they didn't. There's a lot of great console decisions where I will defend 4J to the death. And there's a lot of things where it's like, oh, yeah, that's kind of stupid, isn't it? And I fear that decision falls into the second bucket and not the first. Okay, so I want to make sure the inside of this isn't too dark. So I'm now going to, like, routinely place some torches. I think we'll go, like, every, I don't know, 10 layers or so. Something like that feels right to me. So if we place the torches on the inside of this. Oh, that sounded really good, chat. Did you hear that? Am I crazy? Have I been playing Minecraft too long? That was lovely. Oh, it's such a clunk. No. Man, that's so trippy. I vividly remember the switch from 360 videos to Xbox One videos. Yeah, I was kind of forced into it, if you really think about it, because I wanted to have the end features. It's fun how many people have been around since those days, even if they come back like yourself. I was thinking about Pocket Edition, which generated end portal frames before the end was added. Yeah, so again, the console edition also generated end portal frames before the end was added. But I found my stronghold before they if I recall, I really could be messing up the history on this, but my recollection is they added. My recollection of events is they added the. Oh, I can't pick that up. I'll drop that so I can and then pick that up. My recollection is they did add the blocks first, but also they added the stronghold before they added the blocks. No spoilers, I'm on episode 110 or so. You might know better than anyone else, then, weirdly. All the end gave was Elytra. Was it worth 300 bucks? Oh, yeah. But also, most expensive DLC I ever bought. No, I made other videos about the Xbox One edition. I'm sure I made my money back from, like, the first week of posting or something like that. Like, because I had a couple of big viral videos. Maybe I could have made the videos either way, but, like, it was definitely a phase where people still preferred the Xbox 360 version. And then there was, like, this moment where it all switched over. It was kind of, like, weird, honestly. But a lot of things are weird when you get down to it. A lot of the internet is weird when you get down to it. You're right, TU7 added end portal frames, but strongholds were added in TU5 and the end in TU9. Yay, I was correct. That's how I would have guessed, but I'm glad we got that right. So, This is the insane thing, chat. This world started in TU5 when there were no strongholds. Then they added strongholds in TU7, and so I excitedly went to find a stronghold, only to realize that by finding my world's one and only stronghold, I screwed myself because it wouldn't generate with end portal frames till TU9. And nowadays, you know, you'd know about that way in advance. You'd be like, oh yeah, this is how it works. I read the dev notes. I watched the YouTubers. I was the YouTuber. I didn't know until I did it and could tell people, don't do this. 4J was doing half updates before Bedrock did them. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stories with early console has some real weird holes in it. I think to this day it is worth critiquing at least a little bit. So I still remember the old Blue Ice video that got added to Legacy PS4 Edition. Totally a great sales pitch on a particular block. Yeah, I'm glad I pitched you effectively on it. You need Blue Ice in your world. You just do. It's the case. So all the yeah, I think it was really worthwhile in the end. I remember you tried to emulate having features you couldn't have, like your cursed oak jungle biome. Hey, yeah, I'm glad you remember that too, Stayberry. I do still have that ridiculously cursed biome. I would say beautiful biome. Building a jungle temple from scratch. Real highlight of the world. 4J are the real G's. Yeah, I've met them. There's a lot of people in there that look like they should be called Nigel. Johnny. Also, I think this is the last layer of stone I need to place. Everything else is going to be smooth stone after this. So I think I just have to sit AFK or something like that. Didn't you assume the end wasn't possible in your world for a while, even after the switch for Xbox One? I remember a video where you were excited about having an end. Yeah, I figured... I could be wrong about this, but I always assumed that even in an expanded world, you would still get one stronghold. And so I already had used my stronghold. It was very exciting to learn that my stronghold had not been properly used up in that way, you know. At least for me. I liked it a lot. So I'm going to place torches on this layer as we go now. As we go left, place a torch. Keep on going round. And then, you know what? Another torch. Go around some more. Oh, God. Doing a terrible job of this today. Definitely need to reload up on some stone. This will be my last from this shulker box. And then we'll be relying on the smelted stuff. Just kind of fun to say. So put that in there for now, I guess. I'll pick it up later. Go to bed. I'm still miffed the Xbox One and Switch editions didn't get the updated Quatic, so you can't play converted Xbox 360 and Wii U worlds from the latest update. You can convert them, but not play them. Or can you not convert them at all? Also, another card has just sold with a minute to go. Chat, the stream has been extended another 5 minutes. Dang, this pyramid is at least 90% finished. If I had to give you a guess, I would say like 81%. 82. Like, it looks mostly finished, but it's really not. Unless I'm wrong, actually. No, I'm falling for the same illusion that I'm actively trying to tell you why it's not. I'm being like, oh, but look how complete it looks. It's annoying I can't place a torch around there without doing this, but I can't do this because I have no space without dropping the rotten flesh, and then there we go. So remove that torch from there. No, wait, I have to leave that torch there. And then place a torch down here. Easy peasy. And then run around, and just every few blocks we'll run out. Break one of these on the side. Oh, yep, we're good. Place one down. Easy peasy. We're going. For another 5 minutes, at least. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Didn't the Wii U get the updated Quatic? Yeah, no, yeah, if I recall correctly... They updated the last-gen consoles more than the next-gen consoles, except the PlayStation 4, which was the most updated, which is now incredibly last-gen, by the way. Man, isn't that weird? I feel like something happened in gaming. Like, I hate to say it, everyone chat, but if you remember those days, you're part of the last, like, real generation of gaming. Or at least console gaming. I'll say... it's entirely plausible that some PC games have that same takeover effect, and I think that's where it would be. But I do feel like there was this, like, it was the last, you know, like, true era of that stuff happening. They released a patch to allow you to convert the world, so you can convert them to Bedrock, but you could not play them. You had to use Bedrock. Oh, I don't remember that. I'm glad you remember. You know, also I missed your comment. How do you feel about the video you pitched doing so well, KMB? I want to know. Does it feel good? Does it feel like nothing? Do you feel like you're owed more royalties? How's that work? You know. Okay, we're gonna continue placing blocks this way now. Place the blocks all the way down the road, and then we'll remove this one. Put a little torch down. Just a few torches on the inside will make it less depressing to light up, I think. Maybe I'll regret it. Maybe I'll regret not regretting it. But there we go. Okay, so amazingly, we have gotten to the point where the project, it at least looks like a pyramid. It looks like a very weird pyramid, but it does look like a pyramid. There are some clear lit up sections and some clear dark sections, but we've definitely made it more dark lit than dark for a while. I said I did not expect the video to do so well since it includes very old Pocknish versions, but it proves the concept works pretty well. Yeah, I think I agree with that, to be honest. I'm owed royalties on my IBX toycat drawing on that one video on custom paintings. And as we all know, the success of that video is down to you. It is widely known and accepted, I believe. Also, with 2 minutes left to go, will there be another spin of the Wheel of Toycat? It's entirely up to you. You okay and be some extra card kisses? Yeah, I'll make sure Ad and Sony gets some as well. You guys are getting extra saliva on yours. Again, one day that could be worth dollars. Several of them. Maybe. What was KMB video? I'd like to see it. It was going back to old Minecraft Pocket Edition versions. This feels illegal. This feels illegal was me taking a bit of a chance on the title. I figured, like, if it's a weird video, we'll go for a weird title. And I guess that paid off. I guess people expect weird when they see weird. Maybe in 5 years we can make a part 2 to the video where we look fondly back on 1.21.130. Yeah, genuinely, we're gonna... I know that people don't like hearing this because it reminds them we're all slowly aging and about to die. But, like, we're gonna... This is gonna be the good old days at some point, chat. I'm sorry to tell you. It's not fun to hear it, I understand. But, like, right now, you are playing the last version that starts with a 1 for another 74 years. Think about that. I mean, realistically, they'll change the version number again before then. But, like, we are here in the last minute to confirm. It is, in fact, the last minute of the stream. You're here in the last minute of our stream playing 1.21.130. We'll probably be streaming once or twice next week. And then I won't be streaming again until 26.0 comes out. And then we'll be in that new era of Minecraft. A whole new world. Full of endless possibilities. It's scary. It's what's happening, though. I'm enjoying right now. Good times indeed. I'm enjoying it a lot, too. I'm glad that you are also. Oh, no. Why'd I do that? Well, I guess how better to end the stream than a very, very rare view from the center here. So, if you want to see what we accomplished over these past... I think it'd be 10 hours now if it's 3 and a bit hours today. Plus from the other one. Countdown is done. We can officially say that over the 2 weeks of this, 289 people have decided to get their hands on an IBX Toycat Collector's Edition card. Those are rare and valuable. And it looks as though if you want to be the eBay sellers... no one can tell you what you can and cannot do with your property. But this is the pyramid that was built over that time. And to everyone, either who owns a lair or a percent of the time, or who just owns a Toycat card they got some other time, thank you for... Oh, there is Guardians in here. Yeah, they deserve to be locked up, huh? Thank you for coming along to these streams. Thank you for spending your time with me tonight. I hope you have a very good one. And please do sleep tight. I'm going to look into... Okay, I've got to look into Spotify. I've got to look into printing printing like maps. Wouldn't it be so cool to have a physical map of the world? Anyway, sorry that your medicine wore off, Xavier. Pro tip, don't take medicine. And yeah, we almost stayed into Sunday. Isn't that crazy? Did we play more last week? Oh, we played so much more Minecraft last week. If that's 6 hours, that's going to be like... Yeah, we played a lot of Minecraft in 2026, it seems. Anyway, thank you, and I'll see you another time. Good night. I've got a cool day counter now. It's like the plane 757, but then also another 7. Crazy. Hand-drawn map physical album, yes. Oh. Anyway, have a great night, and I'll look into all those things for you, chat. IBX Toycats 2965. Is that my other Xbox Live gamer tag? I think that's what it is. Have a good night. Or is that my Wii U? Yeah, see you. Hey, it rhymed. Yeah, I love that. Album dropping soon, and cards arriving July 2026.